Oh, that's a good feeling there. Especially if you're looking to get past another extra cover. But Richardson came across there. I put that in stop. Save it. No run the resulting. And at the end of over number 4, it's 17. And choose into that. The next voice in the hot spot is going to be the man. So it's outside, but directly to the point of so no run on the location. So it's supposed to be a 17 for no loss. 17 not lost in the course of over number 5. Yes. It's going to be Jerry Richardson to continue from the city. Leading from scorer for the tournament is walking away some pace passes now into towards the Lake. It was Fuller and Lake is flashing at this one, flashing wide. They can look at it. So they would not last after fighting for 2 goals. It's Jerry Richardson. Looking to continue his fight for Richardson passes the umpire now into Lake and will flip to the outside, looking to get 2 runs there. And usually it's Adams who is getting chased and they call a runner, but they can get 2 runs easily. Moves on to 19 and Lake is on to 13. finally taking out the second stop is gone into the cover region, so and also it's enough as it's Richardson now into water Banks. Banks is in the face, cutting brilliantly from the outside. Pass that but pointed all the way to the boundary before runs. Cutting brilliantly from the outside. Pass that but pointed all the way to the boundary before runs. Just about short of it, just rocked back, and they have it very easy. So it's Gail Richardson passes the umpire into Banks, is a lot fuller. Banks just pushes it to the offside for the short extra cover. So that's the end of over number 5. And after 5, the pointers on 24 no loss. This one is short and over the head of Blake, just ducks it and a white by the head to go to Leon Lake. This one is short and over the head of Blake, just ducks it and a white half tracker yet to see. Accordingly, the umpire called that one a wide delivery, so it scores on the 25, over 25 no loss. Calling one over the shoulder. This is one over the shoulder. This must have been. That's the umpire. Now we to go to Leon Lake and he's wrapping about and cannot get the back onto that one. This one trickles down. They pitch people and he got it through the twist. Adam convinced of what he's doing, but his most fluent things, but he's somewhere in his back. What's the look like? Charles time now is adjusting field is as if that's what he have a little conversation with Reverend Alexander and that's the umpire now to go into Leon. This one is cut away and throw the backward for the region, and the umpire is very quick. That's a good to Leon. It's not been well directed, and it's just outside the offensive on that one flash. I really didn't see that for the midfielder and the third man. And the third goal. By 4 runs. Just a time it was struck on the head with 2 overs of goal, so just a bit of adjustments being made to the field. cut the helmets and so Not full enough to drive, but not short enough to cut. The perfect length for a spinner. It's Adams now into Banks. This one is cut away, but only to the short backward point fielder. And that's no run. So Dimitri Adams, the captain of the Super Sixers and the opening batsman as well. It's number 4 on his back, Dimitri Adams from the City end. Passes umpire Proctor into Banks. This one is Fuller and driven straight to short extra cover. Good fielding there by that's the man Terry Adams, and again no run. So 3 dot balls in a row for Dimitri Adams as he's walking very quickly, passes the umpire Proctor into ball to Banks. So it's short and cut straight to backward point again. So 4 balls, 4 dots in the scorer's book as it's Dimitri Adams working, bowling his right arm off spin over the wicket. Dimitri Adams passes the umpire into ball to Banks. Again, this time pushed down to the long off boundary. They'll get a single. So it's a 32. The score moves on to 32 without loss. As you see, it's a long off, a long on, and a deep square going out to the deep mid wicket. There's only 3 men outside the circle to start off with, and now they're pushing back the deep cover to sweep on the offside. So 32 is the score, 32 in the course of over number 7. Adams to Lake. Lake is forward and pushing circumspectly down the ground. Straight to Adams for no run. So at the end of over number 7, it is 32 without loss.
A very good over there from Dimitri Adams. We saw Maribanks trying to pierce the offside and only managed to play the ball directly to the fielders. And 1 run from that over means that they are holding on to the pointers to keep the scoring rate low.
It was a good change for the captain to bring on himself. And they're going to keep the spin pace combination on as well, as it's going to be Dan Proctor coming on from this commentary booth end. He's a pretty rapid medium pace bowler.
Yes, he is. Yes, he gets one to nip back at you. I remember the first match. I think he got 2 or 3 wickets, which changed the whole situation. And we noticed the field place in here. But you have short third man, backward point, a sweeper on the cover boundary, short extra cover, mid off, a man on the long leg boundary, a man deep on the, and he's going around to the long on position, and a short mid wicket. Very interesting field place in here.
So it pretty much indicates that they'll be catering for the in swing that Proctor gets. They have a very consolidated leg side field. No slips in at this time. It's Proctor into ball to Omari Banks. This one's outside the off stop, looking back towards him, but no danger to the stumps, and a dot ball goes to the scorer's book.
Yes, and that one, it seems to me, Brian, that the tactic here is to bowl outside the off stump to Omari.
They're trying to get him trapped in that halfway position, whether he wants to play it or leave it alone.
That's right, that's right.
It's going to be Daniel Proctor. Now passes the umpire into ball to Omari Banks. This one is full and played high and drops just short of the mid-off fielder, shy at the stumps. Maybe, and there's no backing up done as well, and rather poor by the wicket keeper, you have to say. He chose not to go down, tried to stop it with the boot, and instead just kicked it to third man. So they get 2 runs after what should have been none.
Yeah, should have been no runs at all, because what happened, actually the fielder had to hold on to the ball instead of trying to shy the wicket down, because there was no danger at all. And in the end, they got 2 well-deserved runs, I would say.
They ran well, the fielders a bit of a blunder on the field. It's Proctor. It's a ball to Omari Banks. This one is shorter, but he can only chop it down the ground back to the bowler. So no run. So Proctor is looking rather nippy. He's swinging the ball a bit.
That's right, that's right. That's, as I mentioned to you earlier, get that ball to nip back at you. Very interesting field place in here, Brian.
I think I would have liked to see another man on the leg side. They do have 5 on the offside, but It's Proctor. Now with the ball to Omari Banks. And this one is wrapped him on the body on this occasion. So again, the swing has caused a little bit of problems. This one back towards the body area. And he could only just play it down to a short backward point. So no run again, and the score remains on 34. 34 without loss.
Yes, getting that ball to nip back on Brian. And Omari has to be careful because he might get the quicker one that nips back at him.
Proctor into ball to Banks. This one is a bit full and driven to mid-off. He goes to stumps again, and again a misguided throw. But they won't get the second. The square leg was off the boundary very quickly. And finally the ball is settled down by the captain at the backward point position, so they only get one run.
Brian, the running here has been very poor because even though you're going for a quick single, you try not to pass the stump because they should have had an extra run there.
I think Lake was thinking that the fielder would hold on to that one there. But again, he took a shot at the stumps with the left hand. That's well in there, and we're a bit misguided. It's Proctor. Down the ball to Leon Lake. It's short and cut away off the edge. Down to a deep third man. They get a single.
And we notice that Leon is plodding along gently. The scoring rate is 30.
36 now.
36 and the 8 over. That's what? Say about almost 4 point something runs per over. And I believe after over number 10 that they will try to accelerate.
So after 8 overs, the pointers are 36 without loss. And the next place you will hear will be Billington.
Without loss. 36 without loss. At the end of over number 8. Pointers. And in the toss, choosing to bat. Do you think that was a wise idea?
Huh?
Do you think that wasn't a wise idea to win the toss and bat?
No, I would have put the bat, I would have put the opposite side in. Because it looks like a perfect wicket. It has something for everybody. And if you're going to win the toss, you're going to go out there and attack the bowling. Because after some 8 overs with only 36 runs on the board, you have a long, long way to go still.
Well, you are putting yourself in a pressure. You're digging a hole for yourself. And so it's a hole that you will have to be capable of digging yourself out of. 36 for no loss. Over number 9 is about to begin. Omari is on 12. Leon Lake is on 19. The pointers. Here is Dimitri Adams around the wicket to bowl to the left-handed batsman. Lake who drives, and that's a good diving bit of feeling there by Yusuf Hodge. Coming across from a more wideish mid-off area, short mid-off, and coming around and diving well. A bit wider, extra cover, and he fielded it well. So total moves on by 1 to 37. And Lake moves on to 20. Brings the right-handed Omari Banks on to strike. Dimitri Adams changes his line of attack. Right arm over the wicket. Ball still Banks. Banks is covering it. Straight back to Adams. No one resulting, and the score remains on 37. 37 for no loss. It's going to be with Adams again. It's a ball to Omari Banks. Ball to Banks. This one is down the left side. Wide call and single. Extras move on to 3, and the total on to 38. 38 for a no loss. Here is Dimitri Adams again to bowl to Banks. Banks is hitting this one on the bounce back to Adams. Feels well. Momentarily, I thought that one went back on the fall.
On the fall, I thought to myself.
Went back there with viciously struck by Omari Banks. Here is Adams to bowl to Banks outside the line of the off stump. Steered well. This one is going to run out of the acreage here. It goes away down to the vacant third man and into the boundary for 4. Good looking shot there by Omari Banks.
Yes, a very good looking shot there. And Millington, he's been trying that shot and he played that shot very well. And his timing was there. As long as it passed the man at backward point, it's going to be always 4 runs. Good shot there.
Yes. Well, I'm not sure why he has a shot to another deep one and why he's not straight. Here is Dimitri Adams. Ball to Banks again. That is driven straight back to the bowler. No run resulting. Score remains on 42. Well, you have the opportunity to get that man out. Said I don't want him, but he should be much straighter.
Straighter, yes.
Should be much straighter than that square. It's going to be Adams, who is rubbing his foot. Struck there on the outer part of the left foot. Ball to Banks. Banks is driving. He's going to get one. Down to long off. And Umari knows how to form the strike. And they should have forced him. In an occasion like this, you have to force him to go over the top. You know, bring the final ball of the over, force him to do something. And because they are in the back, they're looking to catch up. And so it is the end of over number 9. At the end of over number 9, it is 43.
Yes,
for no loss.
a good over there for the Pointers, getting some 6 runs, I think, from that over. And Millington, the batsmen, they are not trying to push the pace because 2 good runners in the wicket there just now. They should have been able to get 2 runs because you called early, because the ball is going way down to the man at long off and he's deep.
Well, I don't know how much you know Omari Banks, but Omari is not going to run to the at all. And Omari is just looking to form the strike. Doesn't matter if it's a T20, Omari loves the bat, and if he can bat 20 overs, he's going to do that. So
that is so true.
You know Omari Banks. He is on 17. With him is his skipper. It is Leon Lake. He's on 20. Oh, it's 18 says the scorer. It's a total 43. Yes, so Omari is on 18. Extras are on 3 or 4.
Extras 5.
So the total is 43 for no loss. Over number 10, about to be bowled by Daniel Proctor. You know him as Dan. Number 17 on his back, runs away from us here at the commentator's booth end to bowl to Omari Banks, bowl to Banks. So getting one that is nipping back, and that's what you're going to get from Proctor. He's going to swing it back, and then he's going to look to beat you on the outside edge and make you off.
And it's very interesting because there's no shift. As a bowler, as a captain there, I would have had the first slip in because with that ball coming back there.
That's one.
That's ball coming back there.
That's one warning. That's Daniel Proctor has been given an official warning. He has been given an official warning by the umpire for running on the wicket. So Daniel Proctor has to be careful. He has been given an official warning. Here is Proctor to bowl to Omari Banks, bowl to Banks, getting too close to the danger area, and again Lake goes down and look at where he's ending up. He's bowling over the wicket and he's getting very close to the stump, and he will have to, you know, instead of running into the stump, he will have to run away and get away faster than he's doing because he's getting too close and his skipper is now being called. So, you know, we have seen it for the tournament that bowlers continue to get to the danger area but not being given a warning. And now you see one of the most senior umpire standing up for the rules of the game and saying, no, you are erring, you're getting too close to the danger area. And so he has been given an official warning. His captain has been called, so Proctor will have to look to get wide of those stumps.
Yes, that will. So
43 for no loss, over number 10, Proctor, with number 17 on his back. Well, he's been stopped there by the umpire. The umpire from this end is Kitley Lake, and with him is Proctor. Here is Proctor to bowl to. That was a slow delivery, and Omari had thought it was above the waist, but not so at all. It's a good delivery, a slow ball by Proctor. Total is on to 44 and Omari Banks is on to 19.
Yes, and that one, Omari just coming forward and tapping it. I thought that with that ball swinging down the leg side that he would have had a whack at it.
Well, he was beaten there, for he was deceived
By
the
the
slow
pace,
ball.
yes,
It was the slow ball, and it seemed to be very high, and then it just dropped.
Drop.
You know, like you have a ball and a string, and it just dropped out
Drop
of the
out
air.
the air, yes.
Yeah, so that's what it was. It is going to be Proctor again, doing some adjustments to his field, to the left-handed batsman, bringing up his mid-on to on the circle, that he had here, bringing his long off the boundary. Here is Proctor to Lake. Lake is getting one outside the line of the off stump play, and Lake flashing, doesn't make contact, ball going to be taken by the wicketkeeper. 44 for no loss.
Yes, still good going here by the Farrington Sixers, holding the pointers there. 10 with this over number 10, it's just about 4.5 runs per over. It will be interesting to see after over number 10 the tactic that the pointers would use, Millington.
Well, they will really have to step it up if they have to get a formidable total here. Here is Proctor to bowl to Lake, This one is lying on the leg side. They're gone for one. This will have to be two. Will they come back? And they have settled for one. This is amazing running here by the pointers.
Yes, it is, because from the onset that was 2 long runs. I don't see, you know, the fielder is not even on the ball as yet, and you stop running.
Well, Mara Banks is on strike. That definitely should have been putting the man coming off the boundary under some pressure there. Here is Proctor to bowl to Omari Banks, and Banks is driving. He's going to reach that man out there on the sweeper boundary. It is J.D. Richardson who fields, lobs the ball back into the wicketkeeper. The over coming to an end. Now it's like the umpire changing over.
Yes. Okay, and to join the comments now
well,
will
it's the end of the over. It's the end of the over,
yeah.
and the water card has been called.
Yeah.
And Tony, Tony Fleming, he's going to be slipping into the comments chair. The score at the end of over number 10. It is 45 for no loss. 45 for no loss at the end of 10. As we say, welcome and good afternoon to you, Tony.
Good afternoon, Millington. Good afternoon to the listening public and everyone who are taking our coverage here live right from the James Ronald Webster's Park. It's the Pointers coming up against the Farrington Super Sixers. 10 overs and 45 runs on the board without a wicket, without losing a wicket, that is. The Pointers, I don't think they will be satisfied with the going in terms of the accumulation of runs that they have put on the board so far, Millie, but they have got wickets in hand and certainly show that they will look to launch an assault on what has been some pretty good bowling by the Farrington Super Sixers to really keep both batsmen on their P's and their Q's in this encounter here.
Yes, they will definitely have to step it up. Some 45 runs after 10 represents like 4.1 run per over, and so they will really have to step it up if they have to get anywhere close to 150 and give the Farrington something from formidable total to chase.
Yeah, and the two opening bats there in Lake, the captain, and Omari Banks, the former West Indies, Leeward Island and Anguilla representative. Omari not in full flow as he was in the last encounter, but I'm certainly sure that he will be looking to step it up, knowing that they've only got an allotment of 10 more overs to really put up a respectable total here this afternoon. They have batted first in the first quarters. They have well, so aside from that the only game that they would have won, they decided to take this encounter here, the second game, second round.
Brilliantly the outside. Pass that one pointed all the way to the ball before
the stages of the innings. 10 more overs to go.
This one is short and over the head of the
Some 60 balls. We have seen West Indies made some 98 from from 6 overs in their first power play. We're going to speak a bit of that tour, Tony, and as well, India has taken 3-1 series win over England. The fourth test, the third and the fourth test amounted to just 5 days of cricket. Out of 10, they played just 5.
Yeah, comprehensively beating England there, as the Indians playing in their backyard really is, in terms of especially the bowlers in that Ashwin, who was actually the man of the series with some 32 wickets. They really did a number on the English batters, and no answer at all for the spinners in Axar Patel and Ravichandran Ashwin, and succumbing in by an innings defeat in the final match there that was played over the course. That match actually started on Thursday morning, early Thursday morning, lasting only into Saturday, and really putting a number and putting a licking, as we would say, on the Englishmen.
I'm not going to say that's the team I really support. I'm not going to say India is the team I support at all. I'm not going to say that. It's going to be Dimitri Adams. So he's going to take up the attack after the water break. He's going to be taking up the attack from the city end to bowl to Umari Banks. Bowl to Banks. Banks is walking this one off his legs. Gone for one. We'll come back for a second. And then that noise that you're hearing coming through our microphone, it's way out of the road, and it is not in our control at all. It's beyond our control, and so we apologize for that unnecessary noise that you are hearing coming through our microphones. It is way out in the valley, but we have no control. We are in an open, making a makeshift commentator's booth in. 47 it is for no loss. Here is Leon. To the delivery is getting a shock on the pad going on the leg side. Leon Lake, he's also on 21. Left-handed Leon Lake, left-hander. Long on. Man, deep mid-wicket. Here is Dimitri Bo. Soliano getting this one off the inside edge and so very close to that leg stump. Luckily not to the ball, and it goes down to short final leg where Masimba Bowen field, but he can't stop the single.
Yes, there was Lake, completely lost that one, trying to chop it. It was too close to him, ball taking the inner portion of the edge and going down there to Masimba. Could have easily chopped that onto his wicket.
Here is Adams, the ball to Banks. Banks is just stepping on the leg side. There's a short, sharp single, and will get through. Mary Banks moving on to 22. 22. Lake is on 22, so it's total moves on to 49. 49 it is for 49 for no loss. Here is Lake again. Face to the bowling of Dimitri Adams. And this one is hit down to long on. They've gone for one. That's all it's going to be. Ball was struck firmly. Leon goes on to 23. And the total, 50 has been raised. The 50 has been raised. It's 50. 54 no loss. And over number 11. Over number 11. It's going to be Adams again. He's changing over his field to accommodate the right-handed Umari Banks. Umari Banks is on 22. Leon Lake is on 23. Here is Adams, the ball to Banks. Banks is looking to sweep this, but he makes contact. They've gone for one, looking for a second. They will come back for it too. And the ball has been kicked away. And they could have gotten three. They could have gotten three. But that's some lazy bit of running there. A very lazy bit of running there by the two batsmen. No impetus at all in the innings. Banks is on 24. Banks on 24. Lake is on 23. At the end of over number 11. At the end of over 11. It is the pointers winning the toss, choosing to bat. They are 52. 52 for no loss.
The Pointers certainly need to get a move on things here. We are playing T20 cricket, and it's almost as if they are playing a 4-day game or a 5-day game. They're not running as fast and as with any urgency at all as they should be running. A lot of threes could have been had, and they're not capitalizing on the overthrows. They're not capitalizing on ball going deep into the field at all, and they might rule the chances that they're giving away in terms of picking up those singles as well. I'm seeing Omari Banks, they're just trying to stress his hamstring a bit, so not to show whether or not he's carrying a nickel there, Millington.
It's going to be Proctor. To bowl to Lake. Right time over the wicket, ball to Lake. Lake is working this one to the onside. You have gone for a well. Bit of indecision there, and I really didn't know why, because it was to the left of the field. It didn't matter who. In the case, it was Terry Adams to the left of him, and they had a mid-wicket discussion even before they went through.
Yeah, just not on the same page at all. When they played the previous match before this one, they were really playing well, but today just seems a little bit out of sorts.
It's going to be Proctor to bowl to Banks, bowl to Omari Banks. Banks is hitting this one firmly out to the man on the extra cover boundary. It's Richardson who feels well, and can't prevent the single. Omari moves on to 25. Omari on to 25, and the total on to 54 in the course of over number 12. 54 for no loss. Can they score 130 runs? They really have to do some batting. Here is Proctor to bowl to Lake. Bowl to Lake. Lake is hitting this one up to the man there at whitish extra cover. Can't score. Score remains on 54. 54 for no loss. Well, it doesn't matter that you have 54 on the board. You haven't lost a wicket. And the score is only 54. We are into over number 12.
Yes.
Really have to move on. Here is Proctor to Lake. Lake is getting one. It's off the outside edge and could have gone anywhere. Luckily for him, he dropped short of the fielder coming in there at shortish extra cover.
Yes, Lake there, it's almost like he was trying to dab that one down the fine leg, the ball coming off of the outer edge, popping into the field on the offside, and no run there. But these two batters really got to get a move on, as we would see. One of them need to get out. Walker need to get into the wicket.
Here is Proctor to bowl to Lake. Lake is walking this one off the legs. They've gone for one. Can't come back. Will they come back for a second? They're not going to. They're not going to come back for a second here. That's poor running, extremely poor running there by the Pointers.
To get out. Walker need to get into the wicket.
We continue to see that.
Proctor to bowl to Lake. Lake is walking this one off the legs. They've gone for one. Can't come back. Will they come back for a second? They're not going to.
Right for that. Will they live to regret? Here is Proctor to bowl to Omari Banks. Passes the ball from hand to hand. Runs away. Passes umpire Lake, bowls to Omari, gets one that he's hitting straight to the man at short, mid-wicket, no run. Overcome to an end, and at the end of over number 12, the Pointers winning the toss and choosing to bat in this the Anguilla Premier League T20 League. They are 55 for no loss. After the comments from the man Tony Fleming, the next voice that you will hear in the hot seat is going to be that for the man.
One begs the question with the display in terms of the batting team. That's the Pointers, that is. The way they are batting here today in this game, it is almost as if they are just going through the motions. And is it to say that the Farrington Super Sixers have well thought things out in terms of their bowlers, their field placing, and what have you? The Pointers just can't seems to get a hold that they're playing T20 match.
Adams now to go to Lake. Lake down the track but doesn't make much contact. So it trickles down to the short wicket field and it gets no run. So the score remains on 55 without loss. Here's Adams now to go to Lake. Lake again down the track and bowled. He came down the track. Adams read it all the way. He was a bit shorter in length, and there goes the off stump, and there goes the captain, Leon Lake.
Well, it might not be the right thing to say. That might be something good for the pointers as well, as we see Walker is making his way to the crease with just about 7 point something overs, about 7.4 overs to go in terms of scoring some runs. They definitely need to get a move on things, because the way the Farrington Super Sixers is set up with their batting lineup, 55 runs,
came down the track. Adams read it all the way. He was
of less than 150 will be meat and drink for the Farrington Super Sixers. But cricket is a game of glorious uncertainties, and we will wait and see what Banks and Walker will bring to the table in terms of pushing the Farrington Super Sixers to their limits in terms of putting a good score up that they can defend as well. I think this is the first time that they are actually batting at the start of an innings, and they are not doing too well at it, as we would say in this game of T20 cricket.
Yes, they've been batting just a bit slowly. They consolidated the wickets because their batting is a bit thinner due to the loss of Isaiah John, but they are moving just a bit too slow, and the introduction of Walker should speed things up, because he is a naturally aggressive player. He plays very similarly in style to Gino Richardson. He's not afraid to take on the bowling, but he'll have a very big test early on, as it's Adams now to bowl to Walker, and it's a better ball, and it was slower through the air, a bit of turn off the pitch, and Walker, he didn't have much of a clue on that occasion. Adams to Walker, and Walker saw them pushing this one off the edge. All it was a short third man region. They get no run. So the score is 55 for 1. And it's Dimitri Adams, the captain of the Super Sixers, doing the business for his team. Dimitri Adams. Now the ball to Oliver Walker. And Walker is pushing this one down towards the cover region. Picked up by Terry Adams. That's no run. So Dimitri again. From the city. Passes umpire Proctor the ball to Walker. Walker is forward and pushing back down towards the bowler. That's no run. So at the end of 13, the pointers are 55 for 1.
55 for 1, the pointers, and the Farrington Super Sixers really turning the screws and drying up all the scoring opportunities for the pointers here this afternoon in this encounter. And we really have to say kudos to the Farrington Super Sixers. They, even though they can't plug up the gaps in the field, it appears as though the field is properly set, that the batsmen aren't able to pace at the moment, and it is causing a bit of bother in terms of the amount of runs that the pointers would want to score here this afternoon. As we see Walker, seems as though he's calling for a change of headgear, but with 7 overs to go, that they definitely would need to start to push things on now.
Yes, and it's going to be Proctor to continue, but the dangerous thing for the pointers is that both Richardson and Masimba Bowen have 1 over left each, so that's 2 overs that will be bowled, plus Proctor has a couple left. I think he's his 3rd or his 4th. This is his last 2, but Adams has an over left. They still have Demetrius Adams, who is left to bowl, so there's some danger in this Super Sixers attack. It's Proctor with the ball to Banks. As I ball him, it's taken out the off peg. What a ball by Daniel Proctor. Very similar to Quinton Bolt sweep and in-swing in Yorker. There goes the off stump, and there goes Omari Banks.
Certainly like to see the replay on that one. Omari Banks playing, missing the off stump, the bail being taken off there. Almost wasn't so sure whether or not he was bowled or not, but good ball there from Proctor there to get the wicket of Banks, who did not seem his full flowing self this afternoon as compared to the last match, and certainly sure that he will be dissatisfied that he could not have done a better job for the pointers. But we see the loss of 2 quick wickets here for the Blowing Point pointers, and is that Garvey walking to the wicket there? So
That's Garvey.
So Garvey is one of those power hitters as well, and will certainly do well for his team in this particular situation, because they certainly need to get some more runs on the board, only at 55 for 2.
Well, the scoring, it was a bit slow to start off with. Now it's completely stopped. There was a wicket made in for the 12th over, and first ball of the 13th is a wicket. So it's been extremely good by Proctor and Adams, and they both got a wicket to their names.
Yeah, they have certainly kept things in check. Picking up from the 2 opening bowlers, they have certainly not given anything loose away at all, as they have really set the field in the position that they feel that the men should be set at, and they so far has caused numerous problems for the Blowing Point pointers.
It's going to be Garvey Lake in the batsman. Proctor now into ball to Lake. This one is fuller and whipped away down towards the deep square leg region, will be a single. So that's 1 run finally, and they move on to 56 to the pointers.
These 2 batters will certainly need to take it to the end. They will certainly have to bat out all these overs. Can't afford to be losing wickets, otherwise it hinders their progress in terms of adding to the score as well.
So it's Daniel Proctor walking away from the commentary box end, and he's into his run-up now, passes the umpire into ball to Walker. Walker splashing and flashing hard down towards the deep cover region. Man coming around off the super boundary. They will get 2 runs. So the first real shot of aggression we've seen today. The first shot with some sort of force behind it, and it was down towards the extra cover boundary, and they got 2 runs.
Yes, Walker plays very well, plays with a straight bat and tried to middle as many balls as possible. Nice drive there, picking up 2 runs, as we see Proctor now.
It's Proctor. Now to ball to Walker. This one is wrapping him on the pads. It's again that slower ball that just dips out of the air, and Walker was completely beaten off the pads, and that's no run.
This Proctor still maintaining that good line on length after being driven. We know that he's been warned a couple of times for crouching on the playing area, and so far has held his own, and at the end of his spell at the moment.
Proctor into ball to Walker. Again outside off and off the bottom edge. That will race away across its fast outfield into the 3rd man boundary, and that's 4 more runs to the pointers. Again, what I like to call a French cut off the bottom edge, and the Proctor through past the keeper and all the way to the boundary. Off the bottom edge. That will race away across its fast outfield into the 3rd man boundary, away all the way for 4 runs.
Yes, he did try to cut hard enough to get the power on the ball, using the pace of it as well. The man down there, Chad third man, he couldn't really catch up to that one, and 4 good runs to Walker. At least we've seen some aggression here.
Proctor now into ball to Walker, and let's ball him again. The in swing by Proctor is causing so many problems. It pitched, it came back off the length, and it took out the off stump again, and there goes Oliver Walker. Daniel Proctor is causing some problems.
Daniel Proctor really finishing up his spell here, and finishing up strongly.
And let's ball him again. The in swing by Proctor is causing so many problems. It pitched, it came.
Score, and deeper into the abyss is the pointers as they try to negotiate these few overs. As that's Nardell, it is coming.
And let's ball them again! The in-swing by Proctor is causing so many problems.
But
It pitched,
they are certainly in some serious trouble here, and as they lost the batter there in Walker, and that was actually the end of the over there for Proctor. And good spell by both bowlers here, really putting some pressure on the pointers.
We're looking at the new batsman, but they would have wanted Oliver Walker to be the man to stay there until the end, but it's just been outdone, outfoxed there by very tricky, very consistent Daniel Proctor. Again, he reminds me so much of Clinton Board Swain from Leeward Islands. He finished third, about 15 in terms of wickets taken, in the way he's just able to manipulate the ball. He has those slower balls, he has those yorkers, and he's so good towards the death as well. I want to say good afternoon again to Mr. Ralph Hodge.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bryan.
It's going to be Demetrius Adams. We have to continue from this. Demetrius Adams coming into the attack from the city, and then he'll be bowling to Garvey Lee, who's on straight, wearing number 7 on his back. It's Demetrius Adams. And to bowl to Lake, this one is wrapping him on the pads, and that's going to be no run. So Demetrius Adams, the brother of the captain, Demetrius Adams, is also bowls some right arm Austin, but a bit more variant in the way he turns the ball, very similar to Narayan in the way he can turn it both ways. And it's Adams, they run a pick single with Lake and gets through pretty easily, so that's going to bring the total to 63 for the loss of 3 wickets. So it's Demetrius Adams. I believe Nardell Lake's a new batsman for the pointers. It's Demetrius Adams now. And to Nardell Lake. Lake is down the leg side and a wide. A bit of frustration being shown by keeper Dion Williams, because it's a new batsman, so you don't want to allow him to get any pressure released off of him. With his first ball, it's Adams into Lake, and Lake is driving this one down the ground. A bit aerial, but we fall well short of the long off fielder, and he is off strike. So 64 is the score, and it's 64 for the loss of 3. From a spot of relative comfort at 55 without loss, they've lost 3 wickets very quickly. Adams to Lake. That's Garvey Lake, and he's pushing to the offside. A bit of miscommunication, and he's caught well short of his ground. He was in no man's land. There was no need for the run there. He was caught halfway down the track. Nardell was never coming, and he was trapped halfway down the pitch, put in a fruitless dive, and there goes the 4th wicket.
And certainly that's not sensible running between the wicket. You play the ball to a man at short mid-wicket, straight to the fielder at short mid-wicket. The ball is in front of you, yes, but it's not far enough for a run, and you are going to be stranded all the way down the wicket with the other batsman not responding. That is not responsible batting. And
a bit of miscommunication, and he's caught well short of his ground. He was in no man's land. There was no need for.
And as a matter of fact, this is not even 50 over cricket, because you're batting around test cricket rates, just over 4 runs and over. Something has to give, and they have to look at quickness of the 2 opening batsmen. It was a bit challenging, yes, in terms of variation of line and speed, but they actually batted exceedingly slowly, but they gave a good start, and the batsmen now are not trying to push it on. We're in the 15th over, so if you're talking about 5 runs per over, that's another 25 runs. They certainly will fall short of 100.
So I believe the new batsman is going to be Mohan. The new batsman for the Pointers is Mohan, I believe, and Demetrius Adams, although he's not in bowling relatively at his ideal line and length, he's gotten the breakthrough with the run out. It's going to be a bit of a field change. We're seeing the backward square come a bit shorter. Adams now into Mohan. This one is much better, and he is a shot for a stumping there down the leg side. But Nalo says the square leg umpire. I believe Adams was looking for that stumping opportunity. It was a lot faster down the leg side, and Mohan didn't bite.
Yes, certainly Mohan is overbalancing and is not getting his weight properly aligned, and the ball is simply drifting down the leg side from the right arm, off spinner bowling over the wicket, and quite a good ploy if it's intentional.
It's going to be Demetrius Adams. Now into bowl to Mohan. This one has a much better line and length, and Mohan can only push to short extra cover.
Well, certainly Mohan will have nothing to lose. You're 4 or 5 wickets down at the moment. You're 5 overs to go in a T20 match. You're going to have to take some risks now.
Well, it's Adams. The ball to Mohan. Mohan tries it down the ground, cannot get it past the bowler. Good feeling of his own bowling there by Adams. So at the end of the over, it is 66, I believe, for the loss of 4 wickets.
And just about 4.3 runs per over in a 20-over match, and you're down to 5 overs to go. That it's extremely below where one would expect it to be at the moment. Blowing, the Pointers were batting quite reliably, but not making enough runs for the Super Sixers to be even worried at this moment. But cricket is such a funny game, we're going to have to be careful with it. But I am sure their supporters, their fans will want to see them quicken it up, the Pointers a bit now, and they see what they can accumulate from the last 5 overs.
This is going to be the leg spinner of Raymel Adams will be coming into the attack now. So they have so many options with the Super Sixers in terms of bowling, and I believe he'll be the 6th bowler used. It was Richardson and Bone who started off, then Proctor and the captain Dimitri Adams. Now it's Demetrius Adams and Raymel Adams. The man they call Panther. Following his leg spinning, he has such a knack picking up wickets, and he looked to add to his wicket tally so far. I do believe that he is the leading wicket taker for the tournament, with some 7 wickets as of the last game. It's Adams now into bowl, and it's a full toss and driven down to the leg side. They'll pick up 1, looking for a second. It's not there. That's 1 more to the score for Northern Lake, and the score is 67 for 4.
And certainly an obvious element of the Pointers' innings is very poor running between wickets. They've lost maybe 20 or so in terms of indecision in running.
It's going to be Adams, with Mohan surveying the field. Remember, passes the umpire now. Right arm leg spin over the wicket into bowl to Mohan. That's a very good line and length, but swept down to the deep backward square boundary. They will get a single. So I really like the way that line and length that Adams just bowled. It was very aggressive and how full it was, and with being leg spin, he will extract some sort of turn. It's Panther Adams now at the ball of the league. It's Fuller again, and he drives it down towards the short and wicket fielder. They only get a single. Scores on 68, and Northern moves on to 3, I believe, with Mohan who was on 1. We don't have confirmation from the scorers. But it's Adams now. To go to Mohan. Mohan drives straight to short mid wicket. They get nothing. So Adams was walking away, bowling very full, and let it from the leg spinner. Remel Adams. Passes the umpire now into bowl to Mohan. And again, this one outside the off stump and pulled into the leg side. Down towards deep backward square leg. They get 2 runs. Throw goes to the bowlers end, and the shot at the stumps was missed there by Adams. Now the leg was trapped again in no man's land, and I think Adams had so much time he could have ran to the stumps and taken off the bails. How far Laura Lake was from his crease. 2 runs, throw goes to the bowlers end, and
decision making
the shot at the stumps
there was always 2 in that stroke, but the batsman for some reason only content with one trying to get 2, and then it all happened.
It's now Adams again into bowl, and this one's cut to short backward points. They don't get a run. So at the end of over number 16, it is 70 for the loss of 4 wickets. The next voice you will hear to take you to the 20 over interval will be Millington.
It's certainly quite a good day for cricket here at the James Ronald Webster Park. The sun in all its glory, the vehicles parked all around the park, welcoming back cricket on the island, at the home of cricket on the island.
Thank you.
Today's match pointers versus the Super Sixers. Not going to expectations, winning the toss and you are now 70 for 5 or 6. It's not a position that they would have thought they would have been in. Some fairly accurate bowling by J.Dale Richardson and Simba Bowen, and now the spinners have come in to shut it down.
Yes, so good afternoon from the James Ronald Webster Park as we continue to look at this match when the wind here is really doing a number here in our booth up here at the top of the park as over number 17 in progress, driven down towards long on by the batsman. Is that Mohan or is that Nardell? Nardell. Total moves on to 71 for 4, and the pointers here in all sorts of trouble. It is Adams in pose, quicker delivery down the onside, taking on the pad. They'll get a leg by, I believe. The fielder is racing after it, and only the single. And there's no signal, or we'll wait for it to come leg by. So leg by, extras on to 6, and the total now on to 72. 72 for 4 if you have just joined us. The pointers won the toss and they elected to bat. They are now 73. The last ball stroked up towards long off. 73 for 4. Nardell moves on to 5. Total 73 as Adams. Is Demetrius Adams from the southern end in bowls a quicker delivery, and it's ripped out towards the mid-on deep position and just a single, but not really stroking it the way he would want to, just going with the flow and picking up a single. So 74 is the total now for the pointers up against the Clarendon Super Sixers. Super Sixers thus far looking the better. This ball driven down towards long, looking to go towards long off, but ending up at the widest mid-off position where Terry Adams stationed himself, not extra cover, but he now goes more into an extra cover position. He was a little straighter as Demetrius in bowls again to Nardell, who is having a heave down towards the cover fence. The man comes in and just a single. So really a critical point here, Ralph, where the batsman should be reaching the boundary or trying to find the boundary, but they have not been able to do so.
Certainly nothing to lose at this point in time. The opening batsmen tend to have stifled it. They stayed at the wicket for quite a long time, of 12, 13 55 runs, and 4 wickets going down in quick succession now. The batsmen have nothing to lose but going at it. Another 18 or 24 balls, probably 18 balls to go maybe, and you're still well short of 100.
Yes, short of 100, and I'm not certain what plans they have to get up to the 100, because at this juncture they're not looking as if they really want to reach there. Another 25 runs. Here's Nodell hitting this one down towards long on, but just a single. Single here to Nodell takes him on to 7, and the total on to 76. As you hear the fans in the background, the fans from the Pointers team shouting and begging them to try and up the tempo. Floated delivery, and he's taking on the body. Ball hitting high on the body somewhere around the upper thigh area. No addition here, but obviously the Pointers here doesn't seem to have the arsenal to really have a go at this bowling. It's like a delivery driven up towards long on for a single. Fielder comes across. They're coming back for the second, and this will be and this is what they should have been doing all the time. Congrats to Nodell there, who was the one who initiated that second one.
Yes, certainly they have been running very, very poorly between the wickets, and most of the time the ball played in the deep, they're only taking a single.
Up towards long on for a single. Like the delivery across. They're coming back for the second, and this will be square leg. This is what they should have been. Well, and just a single once more. Not a bad return comes in on the bounce here too. The wicketkeeper. So moving slowly now on to 79. Will the Pointers? The question is, will the Pointers make it up to 100?
Well, certainly they have wickets in hand, so the decision is theirs.
Here is a flighted delivery, and he is ball.
Yeah.
I lost that ball, but he was having an almighty swing. That was late, and his stumps has been disturbed.
Yeah, certainly playing across the line, Elkins, because the spinner has not been pitching. This is his second over, and he has not bowled well. He is not really touching down, and Nodell Lake going across the line of flight. Several of the balls in the last 2 overs were full tosses, and they only picked up a run or maybe 2 here and there by playing it down to long on. And we have Adams. Adams generally bowls from the far end and into the breeze. He's bowling down breeze now, and that may be affecting his flight as far as I'm concerned. But he picked up a wicket there in Nodell Lake, trying to push it on. The score is about 80 for 5 now, and maybe just over 2 overs to go, maybe.
Yes, with just 2 points off overs to go. And they find themselves in a very precarious position now. The foundation wasn't laid by the opening batsmen. It seemed like the team had a night out, a very late night last night.
Well, I can't be certain about that, but certainly they are playing poor cricket in this innings, and you normally see some bright batting from the Pointers in spots, but we have not seen that today. The 2 openers stayed a long time at the wicket, but did not produce the goods.
It's going to be Hamilton who is going to be taking strike from Adams, the new batsman. That's the father of West, the latest West Indies player from here in Angola. Wicketkeeper batsman Jamal Hamilton. It's Neville Hamilton. Taps away, waits for Adams to this delivery. He's getting one that is going back and getting one that is jumping on him outside the line of the next stump. By ricocheting off the pad, the over coming to an end at the end of 18. It is 79 with clarification from the score. 79 for. Is that for 4? Is it 79 for 4 scorer? 79 for 5. 79 for 5 with 2 overs to go around.
Certainly not a good display of batting by the Pointers team. We know that they are much more capable of doing better. The new strip with a lot of sheen on it, prepared by our groundsman Bobby Black, and certainly they won the toss. They batted first, and they found it really difficult negotiating with the bowling of Simba Brown and the Jadel Richardson. And as a matter of fact, each of them will have an over to go, and maybe the strategy now would be to reintroduce the fast bowlers.
And that's exactly what we are seeing. In the 19th over, Jadel Richardson has been reintroduced from the city end and from the commentator's booth, and it's going to be Masimba Bowen, because we are seeing him already warming up. He's there, short thought man, and he's already going through his stretching and ensuring that he's loose and ready to bowl. It's going to be Jadel Richardson from the city end, in the penultimate over of this, the first innings. In the 19th over, runs away, passes umpire Proctor, bowl to Mohan, to this delivery. Mohan is bowler, knocks some knockback, a full pitch, a Yorker length delivery. Mohan looking to give himself room, and not sure where he wanted to play that one, but the ball knocking back the leg stump. Mohan goes, it's 79 for 6, and the pointers are in for the trouble.
Well, certainly if you're going to have a go, you're going to have to have a go at the ball. You can't be going towards square leg and having a swing from a medium pace of virtually straight on the stump. So the ploy for the Super Sixers would have worked. They have delayed their fast bowlers with 1 over each to go, and now in the 19th over, Jadel has come back with the very first ball, getting a wicket. So unless something very interesting happens, it seems like this will be the first under 100 score we are facing in this tournament.
Yes, certainly the lowest total thus far for the tournament. Previously it was 120 odd around, or 104 rather. 104 was the lowest total. Now it's perilously close to being the lowest total. They are 79 for 6 in the course of over number 19, with some 11 balls to go in this innings. It's the Anguilla 20 League, the Anguilla Premier League, first of its kind, with 14 pointers from the southwestern area of the island. The pointers, Razor Massive from the eastern area. From the Farrington area, the Farrington Super Sixers. From the Valley Stony Ground area, it is the Beamers. That will be a clash tomorrow. The Beamers will be taking on the Razor Massive. It is going to be Jadel Richardson from the city end to bowl to the batsman. And we wait. Here is Richardson to bowl to the delivery. He's getting one that is not back. He's on a hat trick. Stump pat wheeling out of the ground, and Jadel Richardson is on a hat trick. What a wonderful delivery there. Jadel Richardson coming back in the 19th over. He's on a hat trick.
Yes, certainly, Miller. I do not know whether it was a wonderful delivery or
he's not back. He's on a hat trick.
The batsman just stood up and
Stump
allowed the
pat
ball to
wheeling out of the
into his leg stump, and the Jadel Richardson is on a hat trick. So you have the lower order of batting now. So all you have to do is bowl on the stumps. If you miss, I hit, and that's the policy Jadel is applying, and those 2 first deliveries were well
He's
lined.
not back. He's on a hat trick.
So far in
Stump pat wheeling out of.
Probably we are on the verge of one, and I would swear that Jadel Richardson would be firing it somewhere about the same line and length, and based on the quality of the batsman that would have just been produced, the batsman who's lower than him shouldn't fare any better. But
he's not back. He's on a hat trick. Stump pat wheeling out of.
Delano generally defends his wicket quite well, at least that is what has been seen in the tournament thus far. So Jadel is all rearing and ready to go from a ton of runs in almost every match. He is now taking wickets in this match.
Well, at the end of over number 18, it was 79 for 4. In the course of over, with 2 balls gone, in the course of over number 19, it is 79 for 7. 79 for 7. Jadel Richardson doing the damage here at the James Ronald Webster Park for the Super Sixers. We have heard him a number of weeks doing it with the bat. Now it's with the ball. Jadel Richardson coming back here and really doing it for the Super Sixers with the ball. 2 wickets and 2 balls. He's on a hat-trick. Will he get it? It's Delano Mussington, the new batsman at the crease. Delano Mussington will wait for Richardson. Waits for Richardson. Taps away. Richardson runs away. Passes umpire. Ball to Delano. To the delivery is. Oh, saving it is driving down to long on. Getting the single and is off the mark. And Jadel has been denied a hat-trick.
Well, certainly, as I said, Delano must not generally get bat onto ball, and it's not as easy to lodge him with that type of delivery as it would have been to the other 2 batsmen. And he took his chances, the ball coming in from outside the off stump. He lobbed it over mid-on and down to long on, and deprives Jadel Richardson of 3 balls and 3 wickets.
Here is Richardson to bowl to Hamilton. Bowl to Hamilton, slow ball, straight back to him, he's caught! He's gone! Hamilton goes, a slow ball, deceived up there by Jadel Richardson, straight back to him, and Hamilton goes, caught and bowl Jadel Richardson for no score. And the thing in further trouble. It is 80 for 8.
Certainly Hamilton could have hit that ball anywhere. It was a full toss, a slow full toss.
Slow ball, straight back to him, he's caught! He's gone! Hamilton goes! A slow ball!
The appropriate shot might have been just to lift it over the bowler head and straight down towards the side screen. He hit it back to Jadel Richardson. Jadel Richardson has 2 good hands. He's one of the tough young cricketers, and he welcomed it and said thank you. 4 wickets. 3 wickets and 4 balls.
3 wickets and 4 balls. Unfortunately, he didn't get to the hat-trick there. But there was Hamilton being deceived by the slow ball, looking to drive on the up, and found the open waiting buckets of Jadel Richardson, who took the catch. And Hamilton goes. The Pointers, with their backs against the wall, facing the lowest total here at the James Ronald Webster Park in this T20 tournament. They are 80 for 8, and the new batsman is going to be John.
Well, certainly Hamilton was deceived as a result of his own technique, is because he had the ball in front of him. He could have extended his arms. He was just trying this short arm jab of a drive, and they played it very safely back into the hands of Jadel Richardson.
Jadel Richardson changing the line of the attack to the right-handed batsman, the left-handed batsman John. He's going to bowl around the wicket. Bowl to John. John is getting one. Oh! And he's playing this one to short third man. And all hands went on the head, went in the air. But that was a good delivery, good defense there by John, who got it to short third man. And the score remains on 80 for 8 in the course of over number 19.
Well, Jadel Richardson, he's sensing the kill. You are at the lower end of the batting end, and the more you can be around the stumps, the easier it is for you to get wickets. He's shown that in the first 4 balls of this over.
You miss a hit. Here is Jadel Richardson. Both to John outside the line of the off stump. Goes straight to be taken by the wicket keeper. And at the end of that over, with one run scored, then some 3 wickets, it is 80 for 8.
So at the end of the 19th over, we are 80 for 8, and how the Pointers batting has crumbled. Getting a reasonably good start as far as runs were concerned. In terms of pace of the runs, it was very slow, but 55 without loss in the 13th over, and you're talking 25 runs later, you have lost 8 wickets. That is certainly not good going. And I'm certain that the Pointers, they were looking for a revival as such in terms of fortune today, but how their batting has disappointed them. What was right was that the skipper Leon Lake won the toss. He elected to bat. The pundits were saying probably he shouldn't have done that is because there was moisture in the wicket. Certainly I knew that there was no moisture in the wicket, and as a matter of fact it was a well-rolled pitch, and you would have been getting the extra bounce early on. But how has the Pointers team faltered? 80 for 8.
Here is Boyens. The final over of this innings. Ball to Mussington. Mussington is walking this one off the pad. He's running away close to the final leg boundary. The fielder comes around field. He's going to hardly return in. Mussington is going back and will get there safely. Total moves on to 82. 82 for 8. 82 for 8. In over number 20, Masimba Boyne. From this, the commentator's booth end. Masimba Boyne Right hand fast. Bowler, medium fast. Runs away, ball to Mussington. Mussington is working this one off the pad. It's in the air and dropping one bounce to the man there at forward of square on the boundary. Total moves on by 1 to 83. 83 and Mussington, Mussington is on 4. Mussington is on 4. John yet to score. Total 83 in the final over of this, the first innings. Here there's a field change. Field change is over. Here is Masimba Boyne. Masimba Boyne runs away. It's a ball to John. Balls to John to this delivery. He's getting one outside the line of the off stump. Airy, fairy shot. Nowhere close to that one. The ball goes to be taken by the wicketkeeper and no damage done. Remains on 83. 83 for 8. The pointers. 83 for 8 in the final over.
Certainly to do any damage there, the batsman will have to get closer to the ball, is because Musimba bowling right arm over wide of the crease and angling it down towards the offside.
Here is Bowen, so ball to John, slow ball. This one is hit there straight to short mid-wicket, misfield there by Terry Adams. 1-1 resulting, John is off the mark. The total is on to 84, 84 for 8. John is on 1, Mussington is on 4. Not a very good batting display. We are accustomed to see from the point. That's not a very spirited batting performance at all. Here is Bowens, runs away to bowl to Mussington. Mussington is looking for a big shot there, coming off the toe of the bat. No run resulting, and that is the penultimate ball of the first innings. It is 84 for 8. Masimba Bowen doing some adjustments to his field, asking the man at long off to go straighter, asking the man at mid-on to go straighter. It is going to be Bowens again with the final ball of the innings. The ball to Mussington. Balls to Mussington is hit straight over the top. One bounce straight to the man there, and he gets it. Sends a return, and he's gonna get back. The return goes into the bowler. That's the end of the innings, and at the end of the 20 overs, it's 86 for 8. 86 for 8. Is it a very good bowling display or a very poor batting display there?
Well, there must be no doubt it was a very poor batting display. There was nothing exceptional about the bowling at all. The batsmen did not come to grips with what was being offered to them. The two openers, actually, they stuck around. They were not getting runs as quickly as one would believe, but then the rest of the batting, it was a very poor display of batting. And one seeing the pointers play know that they can do better than that. And the 76, the Sixers, the Super Sixers, they had an easy run of it today. But cricket is such a funny game, we can never tell until the fat lady sings. But certainly 86 in 20 overs is not a total that the other side should worry about. There are no mysteries in the pitch. There is no excessive fast bowling from blowing point to probably extract any life that people claim would be in the pitch. And they are going to have to depend basically on the slow bowlers. And I'm certain with JDL hungry for runs, a lot of things are expected. And merely a day that being in the coaching world at times yourself, you would say that there's something that has been wrong. Technique wasn't there. Running between the wickets would have been very poor. Indecision making by the batsman. The lack of judging runs properly, and certainly 86 for 8 was actually the way they played. Little aggression in it. Some fairly good shots by the two openers, and the rest of it nothing to add as such. So the Super Sixers will have 87 runs to win, and you're talking about 4.35 runs per over. That should be easy picking.
Very easy, and as you said, rightfully, when I came to the park and I asked about the wickets, I didn't have the opportunity to go out in the middle, and I was told that there was a lot of moisture in the wickets, and I was very surprised because we're not accustomed at this time of the year. We didn't have any rain, and I know that John does a very good job at the wicket, and Bobby Blacks will do the wicket during the week, and when I heard that there were moisture in the wicket, I was very surprised. But coming out here and seeing the sheen on the wicket, there was absolutely nothing like moisture that we saw, and the ball came through nicely. At times there was some extra bungs from the seamers, and there was just very at the end of 10, you would think that at the end of the break, the management, the pointers would have said, what, guys, we are 10 overs to start with you. We still have 10 wickets in the bag. It is time for you to go somewhere. We didn't see that urgency at all. No injection to the innings at any point at all. And when Leon Lake at first tried to put something into it, he got dismissed. And Omar Banksy looking to steer one past the short third man. He was bowled by Daniel Proctor, and the slide started and continued to the very end and ended at 86 disappointing runs for it. It's not over. And whether or not the fat lady is going to waste some time to sing today, we will see, because it is a game of progress and short. 86 is on the board, but
Soliano getting this one off the inside edge and so very close to that left stump.
JDL said, I want today 100, but we have to bat first.
Well, certainly I think, Millie, your assessment is perfect. I agree with 100%. For those people who are saying about something in the wicket, they do not know the Webster Park wicket. All they were seeing is a sheen there, and that bright sheen actually was actually leading them the wrong way. There was virtually no moisture at all in the pitch, no rains in recent times. The water that was put in the pitch was to give it a look by curator Bobby Blacks, and certainly the pitch would have played normally throughout. I said to someone out on the pitch, we can expect this pitch will not change for 95% of the time. And really what happened out there today was very, very poor and distasteful batting. Certainly we know that the pointers can do much better than that. They actually tried to dig themselves in early on, and they did not get out of the hole. That was the problem. Because after 10 overs, as you have said, management should have read the right act and said, look, whatever we have, we are going to make a go for it in the end. Because going at 5 runs and over was not good at all. And for the last 10 overs, they went even lower than that.
So, at 10, they were actually going at 4.5. They were going at 4.5 and not even at 9. And so they were stalled. He came down the ball. He came down the track. Adams ran all the way. What a ball by Daniel Proctor. Very simple to fix the whole sleeve and in-swing in Yorker. There goes the offside and there goes.
Yeah, the pressure in the hole was too much for them. As you said, 4.5 in the first 10 overs, and they ended up overall at 4.35. Certainly that was poor bad.
At the 10, at the halfway mark, you would have lost no wicket and scoring at the goal. The foundation was set, but they chose not to go in search of run until the full
Off the bottom bench, that will race away across the fast outfield into the tournament. And let's bowl them again. The in-swing by Proctor is causing so many problems. It's pitched
sixes in it.
the offside of miscommunication, and he's caught well short of his ground. He was in no man's land. There was no. Past the bowler. The feeling of his open bowling there by Adams. So at the end of it, it's Adams.
Into ball and it's a full toss and driven down to the late side. Into ball and it's a full toss and driven down to the late side. He'll pick up one, looking for a second, it's not there. For example, like going to be kicking the ball to a Mohan. It's a very good line and length, but swept down to a deep backward square boundary. They will get in now to go to the Fuller again. He drives it down towards a short wicket fielder. They only get a single. Outside the offset and pulled into the leg side. Down towards the backward square leg. They get 2 runs, 12 goals to the bowlers and then they're straight on.
Delivery down the onside, taking on the pad, they'll get a leg by, I believe. The fielder is racing after it, and only the single from the southern end. He will pick a delivery out towards the mid-on. Ball driven down towards long, looking to go towards long on, but ending up at where it's mid-on. Really? Here, and that's 25 runs. Here's not it. This one is one down towards long on, but just here's not it. Driven up towards long on. They're coming back for the second, and this will be, this is what it is. Yeah, it's like the delivery, and he is born,
Mohan is bowler, knock some knockback, and full face and knocker delivery. That is not bad. He's on a hat trick. Strong class win. Here is Richardson to both to Hamilton. Both Hamilton slow ball. Straight back to him. He's caught. He's gone. Hamilton goes. A slow ball. The left-handed batsman John. He's going to bowl along the wicket. Bowl to John. John is getting one. Oh! And he's playing this one to Stuart third man. And all hands.
Shown that in the first 4 balls of this over.
You miss a hit. Here is Jalen Richardson. From goes should to be taken by the wicket keeper. And at the end of here is going. The final over of this inning. Goal to Mussington. Mussington is working this one off the pad. He's running away close to the final leg boundary. The fielder comes around field. He's going to hardly return in. First, he runs away. Ball to Mussington. Mussington is working this one off the pad. It's in the air. And dropping one bounce to the man there at forward of square on the boundary. Massimba ball. Runs away to ball to John. Balls to John to the silvery. He's getting one outside the line of the off stump. Very shot.
Right arm over wide of the crease and angling it down towards the offside.
Here is Bones. The ball to John. Balls to John. Slow ball. This one is hit there straight to shot mid wicket. Misfield there by the batting performance of Tar. Here is Bones. Runs away to ball to Mussington. Mussington is looking for a big shot there. Coming off the toe end of the bat. Ball of the innings. The ball to Mussington. Balls to Mussington is hit straight over the top. One bounce straight to the man there. And he gets it. He'll return, sends a return. And he's going to get.
What do they? You see? People up there, somebody there dancing behind the phone. See the people that don't give a walk. Somebody going to look for it. Somebody will get it. When you see the lady coming down here now.
Very good. I think you got to give it to my wife.
But that's what part of the dust is. Just tell me that. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. With all these fellas back, two support, one support on the two. You want the ball, the man that comes to kill the ball. Can't kill the ball and you just set it for one come on. See? Them drinks off here. Them drinks off here. You might be surprised that this state is something wrong with the target. Them low score this problem, you know, many times. Exactly. Yeah, they've done it already.
There's something, right?
Exactly. You come here, that's what happens.
Number one, you say all the you captain up and you finish Jadel don't want with the back. Jadel don't want with the back.
I know. And the fellas can't go here, let out the chicken.
You see? A lot of people, Jadel game has improved. Jadel game has improved. And gone are the days when you could have been between that he's going over here, and you could have bowled him here, and he didn't go here. I can't push the asset. Jadel now playing cards more of a 360.
Yeah.
Because play triple G outside, and he can
But
come and
the other thing they bring it in between there.
all in Jadel. All in Jadel.
Yeah.
As soon as they said, after that Jadel said, everything is Jadel.
That is something, Milton, I observed. I observed that.
Give a chance for it every inning, not take it, and capitalize on it.
That's right.
Capitalize on it. Okay, then we'll start back on the wall so we can go. Let me start. Good evening and welcome back to the James Ronald Webster Park. To the James Ronald Webster Park, we are seeing here the pointers there in the middle, ready and raging to go in the defense of 86 City Main. So it is 87 for victory, and this is the Anguilla Premier League, T20 League, the first of its kind, and you are joining us live from the James Ronald Webster Park here in the Valley. All those persons who are taking up commentaries live, be it on Class FM or on Radio Anguilla, for those persons who are taking on live streaming or via digital Playgo app, we welcome you to all our sponsors and like digital content charters, English Rose, and all our sponsors. We will go through the list as we go along. It is 86 the pointers choosing to bat, winning the toss, choosing to bat, and they amounted some 86 runs. Well, the Farrington Super Sixers, they are going to go in sort of 87 for victory. The lowest total thus far in this, the Anguilla Premier League. It is Saturday, beautiful Saturday evening out here in the Valley, and following this wonderful T20 cricket match, we are going to be live from the Gishard Stadium, and so it's all sports in Anguilla again. We are grateful, Tony, that we can play sports in Anguilla. We have noticed there over in Pakistan, where we had the Pakistan Super League, it had to be suspended due to the COVID spread. A number of players are coming down with the COVID-19 disease, and so we are grateful that we can still be out here with the crowds, a lot of persons in the James Ronald Webster Park, and we are grateful to Almighty God that we can still not only hold sporting events, but that we can still be here in our numbers. It's going to be Dylan Mussington. He's going to be taking up the attack from Mr. Commentator Newton. He's going to be bowling to Yusuf Hodge in search of 87, in defense of pointers of 86, as we say good evening to you too.
Yes, good afternoon to all of our listeners taking our commentary both on 92.9 Class FM and Radio Anguilla 95.5, and for those who are streaming on our live stream here, we will say good afternoon. Get started with the second half of this encounter. The pointers only the manager to score the shot, and certainly have they worked out here for them this afternoon as we get
brilliant from the offside. Yes, that was quite all the way to the ball before runs.
10 into ball to
Shot.
It is Dylan Mussington, runs on the passes jumper, bowl to Yusuf Hodge, bowl to Hodge. Hodge is getting one that is turning off the body. They've gone for one, that's all they're going to be. The man of the final boundary comes off, sends a return, carries up the single, and they are one for no loss. One, it's Yusuf is on one, the total is only one, in search of 87 for victory. And we can have a very short evening here, Tony, as far as we see.
Yes, certainly 86 runs, knowing that the Farrington Super Sixers, they have scored very swiftly and heavily, especially in the course of their first 10 overs. And 86, we can just see maybe about, it could take the power play a Millington to see us out of here, but cricket is a game of glorious uncertainties, and I'm certainly sure the pointer, as small as the total may seem at this point, they will look to defend every bit of the runs this afternoon.
Runs on the board or runs on the board. Mussington is captain and does the ball. Bird says run, a dead ball signal by the leg. From this commentator's booth and turns, walks back and turns at the top of his man. So Adams is 1. Hodge is on 1, and the total is 2. 2 for no loss. Over number 1. Goal by Washington. The former Anguilla peace bowler. Comes into strike. A loud appeal went up to put off the umpire. Umpire say, I'm not going to be caught by that one at all. You're not going to be trained. You're not going to be driving at all. That one didn't come off the back, now the pad. It is a wide, and the total moves on to 3. The extras, they are on to 1. Sent back there wisely too by Skipper Adams. Now for the right-hander, we have a mid-on, extra cover, mid-shot, mid-wicket, square leg, fine leg, third man, backward point, and a slip. Here is Bussington to bowl to Hodge. Passes umpire late, bowl to Hodge. Hodge is salutes his hand, that one jumping a bit too much on him, and so what have we anticipated, and back on the outside of the track now on this one. Score remains on 3. 3, 4, no. Hodge, ball for Hodge. Hodge is stroking this one nicely through extra cover. They have gone for 1. We'll come back for a second. No, it goes into the boundary. That's 4. Good looking stroke. He didn't try to overhit that one. It was bouncing. He got on top of the bounce and just push it through the extra cover, beating extra cover to his right. The man at mid-off was beaten to his left, and it goes to the boundary. That goes for 4. That's a good looking stroke to end the over.
Yes, a beautiful shot there from Hodge. Mussington just losing his line just a little bit there after it started off nice and tight. Hodge coming to it and just stroking it through covers there. Fielder was chasing for all his worth, but only just to pick it up from inside the boundary. Matter of fact, not outside of the boundary, that is. And the 4 good runs to the Farrington Super Sixers, and they are well on their way.
Guys, at the same time, at the end of over number 1, the pointers, they were 5 for no loss. The Farrington Super Sixers, they are 8 for no loss. 8 for no loss at the end of over number 1. And it's going to be, is it going to be Walker? Who's going to start from the city end? Seeing that it's going to be Walker. For the left-handed Dinichi Adams, we have a short fine leg. Backward point extra cover. Man sweeping on the deep extra cover boundary. Long off. Mid-on, square leg. And a mid-wicket in the circle. So the 2-man out, long off, and the man on the deep extra cover boundary. Well, we have a change now in the field. The man from fine leg has gone into slip, into first slip area. Asking the man at square leg to come a little bit to his left. That's much squarer. Here is Walker to bowl to Adams. Adams is leaving one outside and off the off stuff. No trouble, no harm done at all. Well, we are seeing a different tactic here from Walker. Walker to bowl to Adams. Bowl to Adams. Adams is coming forward and stroking it up to extra cover. Not interesting of a single. Bussington moves to his left and forward and field. No run resulting. 8 for no loss. In search of 87 for victory. Here is Walker. Adams pulls away. We're looking to hurry Adams. Adams said, I will not be hurried. You have to wait until I'm ready. Walker bowls to Adams. Adams is looking to chip. Is allowed appeal. Belated by the bowler, and that is not out. Well, the keeper went up, but it was a belated appeal by the bowler, and clearly, you know, no, that wasn't out at all. Umpire didn't move. Here is Walker to bowl to Adams. Adams is leaving 1-1 outside the off stump. No run resulting. No harm done. 8 for no loss. Walker getting through this over very quickly. Here is Walker to bowl to Adams. Adams is getting one wide outside the off stump corner and signaled by the umpire. On this occasion, he was getting a little bit too wide there. And the umpire said, yes, you have chance first. The total moves on to 9. Extras up to 2. Here is Walker to bowl to Adams. Adams is coming forward and then he gets back. Standing tall. Looking to walk this one on the onside. That's all. All in the return back to the bowler. Hodge had to get back into his job. No one resulting. John Williamson and run there from square. Here is Walker to bowl to Dinichi. Dinichi is hitting this one to the right of the man that extra cover. The man comes off the field, the boundary. That's Umari Banks. Can't stop the single. Total moves on to 10. 10 for no loss. Extra on 2. And Dinichi Adams is on 2. His partner is Yusuf Hodge. He is on 5. Total 10. That's the end of the over. At the end of over number 2, it is 10 scorer, 9. 9 the score telling it's 9 because only one. Mussington, the ball to
we are. Corner. Yes, as we are back. We just lost our transmission there for just a little bit. We apologize for that. With you now.
yes, it's a bit back. It is a single, so he moves on to 3, and the total on to 10. Oh, score looking at a correction there. He says at the end of over number 1, the score was 7. At the end of over number 2, the score is 9. 9 for no loss. Here is Mussington to bowl to Hodge. Down the leg side, wide. Loud appeal, wide call by the umpire. The extras move up to 3, and the total on to 11. 11 for no loss. 11 for no loss. Over number 3 in progress. In search of 87 for victory. Super Sixers. The fighting Super Sixers. Restricting pointers to 86. From there 20 overs for 8. 86 for 8. Here is Mussington to bowl to Hodge. Short. Looking to pull this one. The one he's not pulling, not really putting back to ball there. Not a very good looking shot there by Hodge. And no run resulting. The ball just dropping in front of him. No run resulting. And skipper Dinichi Adams goes down to have a conversation with Hodge. Say, don't be phased out here. We have a lot of overs. We have a lot of time to bat. It's only 87 runs. Here is Mussington to bowl to Hodge. Bowl to Hodge to this delivery. He is getting this one that is turned through the onside. Gets one, and the man coming in there. Short mid-wicket can't prevent the single. And Hodge moves on to 6. And the total on to 12. 12 for no loss. Over number 3 in progress. At the same time, at the same stage, it was 6 for no loss. 6 for no loss. The pointers. Change it over. So come at the left-handed batsman, Dinichi Adams, mid-on, mid-off. Extra cover, however, a man catching there, shortish extra cover. Cover, backward point, man sweeping, a pack offside field for Adams, and he cannot stray at all with this field. 7-3 field, here it is. This one hitting straight through the man there, he's going to beach him 4 runs. To his right, poor bit of feeling there by the man at the deep extra cover boundary, and the ball going to his right, and not a very good attempt in defending. some 87 runs, you'll have to put, it's all going to be your body on the line, the blood and tears out there. Poor bit of feeling. It goes into the boundary. That goes for 4. Adams moves on to 7.
Not a good showing in the field out there. That looked like Hughes out there. And getting around, getting to it, but not feeling it in the appropriate manner, and the ball going through him for 4.
Here is Mussington to bowl to Adams. Bowl to Adams. Adams is getting one shot. Pull well. Pull for 4. Lovely shot. 4 bit of bowling there by Mussington with 3 men on the leg side. Going short under the body of Adams, and Adams is very strong on the pull shot, and all he did was to help it. It was a help shot. Pull well. Pull for 4. Lovely shot. 4 bit of bowling there by Mussington away to the backward square boundary. That goes away for 4, and the total moves on to 20.
So that one was more or less of a giveaway there by Mussington. It started off nice and tight, but losing a little bit of his line so far in this over. A lot of runs to play with here. He comes again into bowl to Adams.
Bowl to Adams. Adams is stripping, hitting this one. High, beautiful shot. One bounce into the boundary. It goes away for 4. Right on below us here in the commentator's booth end. And what a lovely shot by Dimitri Adams. He's the man on the go. What a lovely shot. Adams is stripping, hitting this one. High, beautiful shot. One bounce into the boundary. It goes away for 4. Right on below us here in the commentator's booth end.
And Adams getting to the pitch and getting to the line of it and just chipped it back over the bowler's head down here just in front of us, and a really nice flowing shot there by Adams as he pushed the total to 24. The Pointers can ill afford to be giving away such scoring shots and scoring opportunities in terms of boundaries, because they certainly don't have that many runs to play with here. After starting off nice and tight for the first 2 overs, in the third over, some 12, 13 runs coming from that over.
Well, that is what you didn't see when the Pointers batted. When they batted, they allowed the Super Sixers bowlers to set into a groove and to be hitting away at the line and length. And we see there Dimitri Adams using his feet to the opening seamer for the Pointers, and that is what we would have hoped that we would have seen from the likes of Omari Banks with his class to the Farrington bowlers. It wasn't to happen, and so this is exactly what they are gonna get in the turn. Here is Oliver Walker over the wicket, bowling to Yusuf Hodge, plays it on to the offside, no run resulting. And so Hodge and Adams really making use of the power play here. Here is Oliver Walker to bowl to you. Hodge has allowed a peel out and line of just up now, says the umpire. Score remains on 24. Hodge is on 6. Adams is on 15. 3 extras. 24. 24 for no loss. 24 for no loss. Here is Walker again. Walker to bowl to. Well, there's a mid-wicket conversation there. It's going to be Walker to bowl to Hodge. Bowls to Hodge. Hodge to this one. It's coming forward and fading up to for the point. No run resulted. The score remains on 24. 24 for no loss. In the course of over number 4. Walker to bowl to Hodge. Outside the off stump. Allowed a pin. That out says the umpire. A big shot attempted. They're looking to hit that one from which extra cover. Doesn't make contact, and the ball going to be taken by the wicket keeper. Here is Walker. To bowl to Hodge. Outside the line of the off stump. Get this one to the left of back of point, but he comes across smartly, feels well, and prevents any chance of any run. Good feeling there, Tony.
Yeah, very good feeling there. Walker comes in again, tosses up.
That ball over. Good maiden there by Walker. Good maiden score at the end of over number 4. It is 24 without loss. And the next voice we're going to hear is that of the man.
So yes, 24 without loss in over number 4. Just going to about 6 runs and over. And Farrington Super Sixers, playing each ball on its and give it away. We know for a fact that they have got 20 overs to score just about 87 runs. So far, the bowling of Walker has been tight and tidy, not giving anything away at all, as we see another change in bowling here. And certainly they are going trying to defend these few runs that they have put on board. I asked the question of one of the players, why did choose to bat at this point in time in this particular encounter, because they have been chasing, and you know the look seems to be more comfortable chasing as a total has been set. As you can see, the display in the bowling of Walker, I think 86 is certainly not going to do it here for the pointers in terms of them defending that total.
I do think that they should have bowled first, but it's going to be not early. Now it's a ball to Adams. Adams is back and pushing into the offside. And good stop there by Darren Muckington at cover. So there'll be no run to start off with. So, not early, he's been one of the better bowlers. One of the better bowlers in this tournament for the pointers. And he looks to continue his fine form. Now a change in the field, the cover is going a bit squarer, as well as a long off is in place replacing the long on. It's not early. So the umpire stumps into the ball to Adams. Adams is right to the pads, the field goes up, but not out, says the umpire. It looks like the captain Leon Lake was taking up the position behind the stump. Umpire stumps into the ball to Adams. Adams is right to the pads, the field goes up, but Lake has he's not relatively good behind there. It's not a late now into Adams. Adams is forward and pushing into the leg side. Picked up there by Amari Banks. Will be no run. So 3 balls, 3 done balls so far by North LA. The Panthers are looking rather energetic in the field. It's Lake. It's Adams. Adams is pushing into the offside. This time gets it down to the long off. They will run one looking for a second, and that's good running there by Yusef Hodge and Captain Dimitri Adams. It moves on by 2 to 26, with Adams on 17 and Yusef Hodge on 6.
Certainly you can see the difference in terms of the batsmen running in between the wicket here this afternoon from the Farrington Super Sixers.
It's late now. It's the ball to Adams. Adams is turning this one into the leg side. Banks moves to his left. Single. Adams moves on to 18 with the score at 27 without loss. The search of 88 victories. There's 27 without loss here in over number 5. Not early. This is the first time we bowling to the right-hander in Yusef Hodge. On a very similar field with people on the offside and then long off. I may not agree with the field, but it's a field set by the captain Leon Lake. With the ball turning back into the right-hander, you may want to see on the leg side, but he's up for 2 fielders on the offside in the boundary. So maybe a faster contention, but it's going to be not early. Tossing the ball hand to hand now. Passes the umpire into the ball to Yusef Hodge. Hodge back and looking to run this one down to the third man boundary, but well struck by Amari Banks. It's not early. Wearing number 11 on his back. It's quickly over. Passes the umpire into the ball to Yusef Hodge. Hodge is driving to the offside into the cover region. Sipo comes around and can partly stop it, but will not stop the second run. And the score is 29 with Yusef Hodge at 8. So the end of over number 5, the pointers are 29 without loss. Passes the umpire to both Yusef Hodge.
29 without loss.
Driving to the offside into the cover region.
Playing each ball on its merit. The bowling has been pretty good so far. Pointers looking very enthused and energetic in the field, even though the bowling could have put up a score of, I think it's 87 there. Well, but they have set out to defending it in a spirited manner, and that's good to see.
So what Captain Leon Lake did well is that he brought on his most economical bowler, Oliver Walker, extremely early. So it's a very good, it's a sign that he's not giving up on the game. He's trying to defend his rather measly total of 87. He's trying to do so to lead the pointers to their second victory of the 2021 Anguilla Premier League.
It's certainly going to be a hard task here this afternoon because the Farrington Super Sixers, they certainly seem like the team to beat in this competition.
It's Oliver Walker will be continuing when they start screeching. Oliver Walker from the city catches the umpire goes to Adams. And he's going high over the offside, but could fall in between the cover and the deep cover fielder and step through for a single. It was maybe the first missile shot we've seen Adams play. When it went up and over the cover fielder and ended up being a single. So it's going to be Oliver Walker. A bit of a change in the field. Very strong field to use Jeff Hodge. He is very good through the offside, but I don't know if I recommend bowling off spin with no mid wicket. It's Oliver Walker into Yusef Hodge. And Hodge goes straight down the ground and a good stop by the bowler himself. So it's 30, I believe. 30 to score without loss. Oliver Walker now. It's about the Yusef Hodge. Hodge driving through the offside to the sweeper there on the boundary. They will get a single as a single afternoon against Mr. Renford Chelsea.
Yes, good. And we see that the Farrington is really going at this, and they're really not holding back. And at least they're showing the pointers where the ones should have been turned into twos.
This has been a much better show of running from the Super Sixers. The pointers they were here between the wickets.
Right, and sometimes the boundary and very, very fast, and as soon as there's a ball, you get an
2 runs.
comfortable. That's right. Mm-hmm.
To the point of they settled a lot for singles. They were contented to settle for the singles. And they only mustered some 80 when in fact they could have gotten if you walk, you know, and Adams not ready for the ball.
Yes, and we know to say that Skipper Leon Lake is the keeper today.
It's Oliver Walker into Adams. Back and pushing to the offside. It was well to the cover right and we get a single. So now Adams is on 2 of 13-1. Oliver Walker, he's been good so far. He's been very economical.
Very economical. Mentioned, and I noticed there's a change in the field. As an off, he now has the backward square leg in. A man on the square leg boundary. Now he's calling him in. And no doubt. Changing the field altogether.
I think he's going to be bowling a very outside off stump line, but if he's in any way too full or too straight, the entire wicket region is completely open.
That's right. And the gap between the mid wicket and the mid off.
He's lined it up very well so far. As Walker delivers there and Hodge over to the offside. Well, from the lake there at cover. They got no run. So Walker, he's a very accurate bowler, you have to say. So at the end of this, the 6th over, It is 32 without loss.
Yes, a steady over there from Walker, and we saw there some 2 runs coming from that over. He was on line to the batsman there, and the field placing is the field placing is left to be decided. Brian, is that with an off spinner, as soon as you stray, the batsman will be able to pull you through mid wicket, and there's no mid wicket at all. There's the open space between mid on mid wicket. Anything can happen.
In the outside field, but there's no slip in place. You can have an extra cover, a cover, and a deep cover without a slip.
That's right, because if you take that edge and the wicket, it's going to go through for 4, because there's a short third man, but not backward point, short backward point, and there's no man on the boundary. We noticed also that there is a sweeper on the cover boundary, a mid off on the boundary, mid on the boundary, and now there's a man going on the deep in wicket boundary. So I guess Northern Lake is going to concentrate on bowling between, he's going around the wicket.
It's not a late now. Between umpires comes to both the left-handed Adams and to tongue this one into the leg side for a single. So it's a very interesting field setting here by the Captain Leon Lake behind the stumps. And after the right-hander here.
But something that I observe here, Brian, is that I think with the small score, I thought that the captain, for him to use his experience, he would have brought in Omari.
I would have thought Omari would have opened the bowling at least, because with him being your most experienced and probably your best off spinner, you would want him to get attacked very early.
Well, we see the skipper there is having a chat there with Northern Lake, and he's also making some adjustment to the field, because we see Hamilton is going to short backward square. Is it? Yes, he's going to short backward square. So there's a short backward square, square leg.
Lake now with the ball to Yusuf Hodge. Hodge is pushing this one back down the track straight to the bowler. It will be no run. So Northern Lake walking through the over very quickly. Lake with the ball to Yusuf Hodge. Hodge is looking to turn it into the leg side, but cannot get it off the square at the moment. Northern Lake is rolling a very tight line and length, but they're just missing the wickets. Northern Lake. The ball to Hodge. Hodge is back and cutting to the offside very powerfully, but the man on the offside boundary will collect this one and return the throw before a second can be taken. So finally the score moves off 32 and gets to 33, I believe.
34.
Or 34. 34 is the score. As it's Lake. Now with the ball to Adams. Adams is forward and pushing. Maybe a bit of indecision, but the ball rolled down that hill off the surface, and in the end they scampered through for a quick single.
Very good running indeed there, Brian. That's what you didn't have from the pointers.
Not only. With the ball again to Yusuf Hodge. Hodge is back and turning it past the backward square fielder. It's going to be 1. They're coming for a second, and the ball will in fact not cross the boundary. Good fielding there by Hamilton. But the batsman ran all the way for 3. So again, that's the disadvantage of having an offside field to an off spinner to the right hander, because any sort of drift in line, the ball will automatically turn towards
the leg side. That's right, and that is exactly what is happening here. So it's 38 without loss, and we're into over.
That's the
7th over?
7th completed.
Yeah, 7 completed. So after 7, they are 38 without loss, needing another, say, about 49 more runs to win. Yeah, about 49 more runs to win this game, and lots of time, lots of 13 overs to do that.
Well, it looks like Walker will be bowled all the way out. This is his 4th over now. He's been very economical, yet to get the full stats, but he's been extremely economical to start off with.
And we noticed there that Captain Leon Lake is making some adjustments, and he has a short extra cover. Very short indeed. I don't know if he's looking when he get the bounce.
He's walking out to ball to Hodge. Hodge gets one off the edge, down through the third man region. It's a race between the ball and the fielder. The fielder will collect this one inside the boundary, but they will run 3 runs again. So it's very good running by the Super Sixers. They've converted some 2-3 so far in a matter of 2 overs, whereas the punters did not convert one.
No, they did not. They did not. Yes, as I said, the running between the wickets of the pointers was left to be desired, and their judgment was very bad because we saw the run out of the Garvey Lake, which was unnecessary because the other batsman was not backing up.
It should have been a single. It
Long
looked like it would have
single,
been a single.
because the fielder had to come to his right, and Garvey was halfway down the track, and the other batsman was still in his ground.
Well, it's Oliver Walker. He scored on 41. Hodge, I believe, is on 12.
16.
16, and this one's driven down the ground. And just past the short extra cover, they get a single. So 42 is the score. 42 now for the loss of no wicket. Except Hodge and Dimitri Adams, the most used opening pair for the Silver Sixers. This is their third opening the batting together. It's Oliver Walker now to both the Yusuf Hodge. He put this one aerial, but over the third man fielder, and it should race it into the boundary, and it will be 4 runs. So maybe a relatively a mediocre effort, you have to say there, because the ball wasn't going fast. It wasn't racing to the boundary. But I believe it's Garvey Lake that he sort of gave up on the chase a bit early.
Yeah, but the ball went to the right, that's to the left of the sweeper, and the sweeper had to run all the way to his left. And Garvey Lake started late, as you said, and couldn't get to the ball. So it's another boundary. So Hodge is now on to 20, and Dimitri is on to 23. So the score is 46 without loss.
As it's Oliver Walker into Hodge. Hodge is driving to the offside but can't make contact. And an appeal went up again, but they're just appealing for appealing's sake. I don't think any of these shouts have been anywhere close to the edge. Walker to Hodge. Hodge is driving again to the offside. Straight down. The short extra covers through. So no run. Walker turns quickly into Yusuf Hodge. Hodge is pushing into the offside to short backward point. And again, there's no run. So at the end of the 8th over, that's the end of Oliver Walker's quota as well. It was 46 without loss.
Good going here by the Farrington Super Sixers. And I'm wondering really, as well as you also, Brian, why, as an experienced player, I think the captain, it's about time that he bring Omari into the attack. So if he can break the partnership, because remember that Richardson was on a hat-trick. So you never can tell what could happen. I don't know if Omari is injured or what.
One.
The boundary, but he has to be on the boundary today, so it shouldn't be a shoulder problem. But he has to return all the way from the boundary with his bowling arm.
Yes, that is the thing. But in the meantime, they are what, 41 runs away from victory with all the wickets intact.
Lake now, into ball to Adams. Adams turns this one down towards the leg side, past the short backward square leg fielder and Amari Banks, but this can go through for 2 runs. 2 relatively easy runs there. As Adams moves on to 25 and the score moves to 48.
Yes, and you see there's a difference we have here, Brian, that these Farrington players, they're off to the singles very quickly and make up their mind that they'll get 2.
Lee to Adams. Adams sees this one outside the off stump, and that will be no run. So again, What I also like from Adams is his decisiveness. If he's going to leave it alone, his bat is completely out of the way. If he's going to
Yes.
play, he plays hard. Not only. Now the ball to Adams. One is fighting, driven down the ground. Well timed, but there's a man on the long on boundary. And they'll get a quick single. So that's the 26th run that Dimitri Adams has scored today. He did get out for a duck in the last game.
Yes, he
A
did.
very unexpected duck, but more than making up for it here today so far. League. Until Yusuf Hodge. Hodge is back and just pushing this one to the offside. Oliver Walker's around quickly. That will be no run.
And if you observe there too, Brian, that the batsmen are backing up, the non-striker is backing up. Whereas with the, and that's the 50, that's a wide call there.
It's not the 50th run up as we can limit this one down the leg side. It was a wide. It's now the late again. Having to bowl that one. Going to bowl to Hodge. This one is fuller and Hodge drives it very easily. They're going to run one and they're going to get the second easily. That is great pressure being applied to the fielders by the batting side. Because Hodge, he was originally taking a jump for one, but he saw Adam sprinting and he decided to get for a second run as well.
That's right. That's exactly what
They're going
happened.
to run one and they're going to get the second easily. That is great pressure being applied to the fielders by the back. Hodge is back and cutting this one past the backward point fielder. I don't know if it will be 4 runs, but it was a great shot there by Yusuf Hodge. Banks is looking to collect that one and he will return it very easily into the wicketkeeper Leon Lake. They get 2 more runs. 2 added to the score of Yusuf Hodge on 24, I believe.
Yes, he is.
And the score is 54. After the 9th over, it is 54 without loss.
And in comparison, I think the pointers at that stage, there was some 40 odd runs. You know, it's strange here today, Brian, that the pointers did not try to push the scoring along, because many instances we saw where they could have turned ones into twos and they just settled for one. Another 20-25 runs could have been scored, but it wasn't the case.
Well, it's going to be deductible Hamilton coming on from the city.
Yes, it looks so.
So it's going to be a very experienced Hamilton. So I think Amar may be carrying an injury because surprisingly he's not been brought on as yet. So it may be an injury concern. We'll have to speak with either the man Cardigan Connor or Oliver McDonald to see what the issue was.
See what the issue is,
Banks.
Omari. Yes, I guess we'll have to see what is wrong, because as we mentioned there, you had to have Omari opening the ball in here today. Use your most experienced player.
Well, it's going to be Hamilton, the right-arm off spinner who will bowl it over the wicket. It looks like to the left-handed Dimitri Adams, surveying the field. It's a long on a long off, deep cover, and a sweep on the leg side. Hamilton into Adams. Adams cuts it away very powerfully through backward point. That's all the way to the boundary. 4 more runs to the total of Dimitri Adams.
That one was very short, giving him the room. And as long as he gives him the room, you know that he's going to smack that ball.
It was a gentle loosener. It was short outside the off stump from the off spinner. You never want to bowl that because you don't have the pace. So you can just rock back and cut you easily through the offside. That one raced through backward point, maybe aerial, but directly in the gap between the point and the third man fielder.
Yes, and that ball really raced to the boundary. Now he's going around the wicket.
Oh, look, he's going back over. Actually, no. Yes, he'll be going between umpire and stumps, it looks like.
Yes, it seems so. Yes.
Hamilton. Now the ball to Adams. Adams goes up and over the offside. This
4
one
more.
is well to the left
4 more.
of Omari Banks and will race into the boundary for 4 more runs. So Omari, he's moving very gingerly out there on the boundary. So I think he may be injured, but Adams is really racing along.
Yes, and he's using his feet there to Hamilton. Very slow in the air is Hamilton, and gives him all the time. And now they're making some adjustment to the field in taking the man. The man is going back now. He's calling back in, It's a very weird field setting here, I would say, because there's the open space. All he has to go over the top.
As it's Hamilton now. So Dimitri Adams one is pulled away down to the deep square leg fielder. They'll get a single. That's 35 for Adams, and
He has to go over the top.
as it's Hamilton now. So Dimitri Adams one is pulled away down to the deep square leg fielder. First time in quite a while. They'll get a single. One from the other end as Adams went to work. It's Hamilton now. And the ball to Yusuf Hodge. Hodge is back and turning this one into the leg side. They'll run a single. The ball trickled towards the short and wicket fielder. And that's another run to the total of the Super Sixers. So it's Neville Hamilton. The father of business, batsman Jamal Hamilton now moves to Adams. Adams looking to carve it to the offside, but only finds the backward point fielder. They will get no run. Of course, Jamal Hamilton has been selected for the 4-day game between the best of the West Indies players, the best 22-man squad they can come up with. Hamilton now to Adams. Adams drives through the offside. That's no run. So at the end of over number 10, they are well above the required run rate. They are 63 without
64.
loss. 64 without loss.
40, 64, right? 64? 63?
Yes, it was 63 without loss there. Then that's going to be the James break as well. So
Yes.
at the end of 10, there are some
24 runs away from victory.
yes, and at the similar stage, the pointers are only 46 without loss. And from that position, you would have thought that they would have gotten to at least 120 and have not lost any wickets in the
That's,
first 10.
and I support you with that. But as I said earlier, the pointers, to me, it was no sense of purpose to them. Because they did not try to push the scoring at all. They went out there, they batted slowly. Ones could have been turned into twos, and they did not. So it's their downfall.
The champions allowed appeal and belated by the bowler, and that is not out. Extras up to 2.
They scored exactly double what they had at the 10 over mark.
Exactly, that is true. So we get right.
You would have thought that they would have been able to push on.
Push on.
Then let's walk and got the late.
But what I noticed too there, Brian, is that the way Omari got out, as we've been saying all afternoon about Proctor. Proctor gets that ball to Nick back.
Just one hit him straight through the man. He's going to beat him for runs.
That was right. Ball was bowled, and then Walker, he was bowled the same way.
Adams is going to one shot. Pull well. Pull for 4. Lovely shot. 4 bit of bowling there by.
That's right.
His natural run-up enables him because he's
Adams is stripping. Hit in this one. Oh yeah, beautiful shot. One bounce into the boundary. It goes away for 4. Right on below. See in the comment. Adams really making use of the power play. Charles, I love the peel out and Lennon.
It took away the entire cutting from Omar Bent, and that took out his
I love the peel, not out to his umpire.
That's the game of cricket. Things happen in the game of cricket. Well, they're having a water break now. Just remind about our sponsors. Of course, I don't have the list here, but I can tell you that our sponsors, Lakes Royal, they've been added to the sponsorship, along with Radio Anguilla, or Pete Radio, not or Pete, but Stars FM, the hotel there at Shoal D3 Enterprises. And Mr. Rogers gave you a list of the sponsors. I don't have them here. That's Demi Beach Hotel, gold sponsor, Coconut Resort, and Santa Farming. And of course the gold sponsor is Anglia. So
on the offside,
support the
would fall in between the cover and
the Webster
cover
Park.
field.
Tomorrow is a very
And
interesting
for
match
is single.
between the Beamers and the
Razor
Razor Massive.
Goes straight
And we
down the
saw
ground and
the Razor
a
Massive
good
there
stop off here.
had a very good start last week and then going on to the Farrington.
I think that the problem with the Razor last week is that they did not know when to accelerate. They consolidated too long. So towards the end of the legs of Victor Gunsmanship and Ryan Benjamin came in to try to accelerate the run rate. It was just too little too late.
Exactly. Well, we see a bowling change now. Omari Banks is going to take the attack here from the pavilion or
This one aerial, but over the third man fielder, and it should race it.
Then chasing some 24 runs.
It's going to Fuller, and Hodge draws it very easily.
It's not.
They're going to run one, and they're going to get the second easy. There is great pressure being applied to the fielders. Deep
earlier, that's right.
Sip on the
Actually,
leg side.
you should have
Hamilton.
opened the bowling.
Aaron cuts it away very powerfully through backward point. That's all the way to the boundary. 4 more runs.
Yes.
Hamilton. Now the ball to Aaron. Aaron goes up and over the offside. This
4
one
more.
is well to the left
4 more.
of Omari Banks and will race to the boundary.
That's all he has to go over the top.
As it's Hamilton now.
Evades well.
So Dimitri Aaron. This one is pulled away down to the deep square leg fielder.
His second game of
He'll
the
get a
Anguilla
single.
Premier League.
The ball to Yusuf Hodge. Hodge is back and turning this one into the leg side. They'll run a single
Push to the offside.
Hamilton.
Now he will get
Now
the
to
single.
Adams. Adams drives through the offside.
Well, this is where Mara Banks is that he's not bowling a very wicket taking length. He's bowling more of the consolidated
That's right,
length.
that's right,
A
exactly.
bit shorter and making the best and push it rather than enticing the drive.
Because, as we mentioned earlier, Brian, that Omar should have opened the bowling. 64 is the score.
So it will be Omari Banks coming from this, he comes to this group end to the left-handed Dimitri Adams. This one's outside off, driven powerfully through the offside. The fielder will come off the super boundary and will collect easily. So it'll get a single. It was very well struck by Adams, but there was a fielder in the way. So it's Omari Banks going past the umpire now. Now with the ball to Hodge. Hodge is driving to the offside, to the onside, but I don't think Adams was interested in a run there. It may have been on, but no need to run a very risky runs when you're only chasing some 24 for
24
victory.
for victory, 22 to be exact.
The score on 65, they want 88 to win. It's Banks now to Hodge. Hodge is whipping this one away into the leg side. They will get 1. The return comes in directly over the stumps. Leg drops it up, but I don't think Adams wants that second run. So 27 is Yusuf Hodge and the score is 66 without loss. So a 50 opening partnership for the Super Sixers. Tamari Banks. Wearing number 45 on his back, similar to Chris Gale. Banks now into Adams. This one is short and Adams leaves it alone. You can see a bit of turn there off the surface. It's switching about leg stump and turned outside the off stump and a bit of bounce. He's a very tall man, Omari Banks, and he gets good bounce. So it's Banks walking away. Now bowling right arm over the wicket to Adams, again left alone. So that's the length you want to bowl, a lot fuller. So at the end of 11 overs, it's 66 without loss. So it'll be very interesting to see whether Hamilton will continue from the end, but it looks like he's into position, so he will be continuing there. But he's a very different off-spinner to the rest of them, as he doesn't push it through the air quickly. Instead, chooses to flick it up, and he's a lot slower through the air. As I say good afternoon again to Mr. Ralph Hodge.
Good afternoon, Brian. And the batting practice, 87 runs of 20 overs. And the Farrington really is grinding them into the ground at this point in time.
Well, it's going to be, that's Hamilton, Neville Hamilton. Bowling from the city end now with the ball to Hodge. Hodge is forward and pushing it down to the long fielder. They will run one. They won't get the second on this occasion, and they're ticking along. It's 67 now. 67 without the loss of a wicket. So it's Hamilton. As we see the Super Sixers, they're really chasing down this score with relative ease. They have not played anything risky. You can't have said that any of the batsmen deserve to be out but once. They played a very simple inning, both of them. Hamilton now into Adams, and a half appeal there by the wicket keeper, but they will step up through for one leg by.
And certainly there's no need to take any risks. You're going at 4.35 required, and the batsmen have adopted the correct approach. Just push it around. You have a hard, flat surface, nothing irregular is going to happen. And you take your time, and they are doing quite a job for the team, and probably looking to end it without losing a wicket.
Well, it's Neville Hamilton. The experience right on off spinner over the wicket to Yusuf Hodge. He's looking to sweep, but this one is down the leg side and a wide signal by the umpire. So that's an extra run for the batting team, the Super Sixers, and one of the pointers will not have wanted to give away. Hamilton now into ball to Yusuf Hodge. Hodge is pushing it into the leg side again, and they will get the single. So they started off running the twos very hard, but they've chosen this occasion to just take over the runway, just run the singles. There's no need to run two runs, just conserve energy. The score is 70, I believe, 70 without loss, chasing 88 for victory. They only need 18 more runs to win. Hamilton fights it up to Adams, this one driven very powerfully down the ground. There's a man on the long off boundary, they'll get a single.
Yeah, Hamilton flighting quite nicely, even at this stage of the game. Is not afraid to loop it, give the ball quite a bit of air, flicking it out quite easily, and the Farrington or the Super Sixers batsmen taking no risk at all.
To Hodge, pushed to the cover fielder, that's no run. So I believe the score for Hodge is 28 scorer. I believe he's on 28, Yusuf Hodge. As Hamilton continues to Hodge, and this time he's pushed into the leg side for a single.
Well, Blowing Point did not make, or the pointers did not make enough runs. 86 in a 20 over match, under 5 required. All you have to do is certainly take your time, and the two Super Sixers openers have done just that. And I'm certain J.L. Richardson will be in the pavilion licking his fingers. There's not much in terms of runs he can think about adding to this, because his team is about 16 runs away from victory at the moment, and they are showing no signs of any upset, no sign of getting out of there. The surface is hard and it's flat, the ball is coming through properly, and there is no devil in the pitch, so at least they are hanging on.
Banks to continue now into Yusuf. This one is clipped into the leg side. They'll run one and they'll settle for that. So it's 73, I believe, is the score.
And the skipper deputizing behind the stumps in the absence of John, and he's doing quite a good job behind the stumps, moving much more agile than in the field.
It's Somari Banks. Passes the umpire, bowling right over the wicket to the left hand of Adams. This one is cut past the backward point fielder. I don't think the deep cover will get there. That's going to be 4 runs.
Not a good attempt by the fielder at backward point. He did not get down, was caught wrong-footed and into the third man boundary for 4.
I believe he wasn't expecting that, because the last second Adams opened the face and guided it past him there at backward point, and the deep cover had no chance really.
certainly this will appear to be the easiest of the matches for the tournament thus far, but it has been built up by a very small score by the pointers in their innings.
It's Banks. Again, pushing to the offside, but this time stopped by the backcourt point fielder. They get no run. So they just need some 11 runs of victory now to the Super Sixers. Just 11 more runs. It's Banks to Adams, and this one is pushed into the offside again. They get a single.
Decent running between the two batsmen. They make up their mind from early. Just steered in the offside by Adams on that occasion, and Hodge was backing up, and the single was always on.
Omar Banks. No passes. The umpire in the ball to Hodge. Hodge is forward and pushing it straight on the ground. Very, very solid defense, you have to say. Just forward and killing it dead in front of it.
While certainly there has been no devil in the wicket, as the game goes on, the wicket seems to be playing, the pitch seems to be playing better and better.
So it's going to be Omar Banks now. To Hodge. He's going to driven down the ground. He'll get a single. And again, actually going to run two. That's brilliant running by the Super Sixers. Again, something that we have not seen from the pointers at all. That was great running, the way that Adams immediately committed to running the second run. So at the end of the 13th over, it is 80. 80 without loss.
Certainly a greater awareness of running between the wicket by the two Super Sixers batsmen. The pointers probably lost between 20 and 30 runs by not turning ones into twos, or maybe twos into threes, or taking the singles, and they are now suffering for it.
So the competition going on between Hamilton and the fielder, I believe that's Oliver Walker, another experienced campaigner. Well, it's Hamilton to continue, bowling from the city end. Between umpire and stumps to the left-handed Adams. Adams back in, looking to cut, but making no contact. This one goes all the way to the lake. He doesn't look like he's out of place behind the stumps, just Leon Lake.
He was a wicketkeeper at one point in time.
Well, it's going to be Hamilton now. Adams. This time he drives it off the edge. It's going to get past the backward point fielder, but won't go to the boundary. They'll get 2 runs. Good return comes in, only 2 runs, and that's the 82nd run up in this partnership.
Certainly some good partnerships forged by the Super Sixers during the tournament, and this is yet another one.
Well, it's Neville Hamilton bowling his right arm off spin between umpire and stumps now. Into ball to Adams. One flighted up and turned into the leg side. Picked up by the short and wicket fielder. They get no run. So they are 82, chasing 88, so 6 runs away. Adams is going to turn this one to the backward square leg fielder, more of a fine leg fielder. They get a single.
So how close are we to the end of this match? It is only one boundary away, and certainly we will see the approach of Hodge, whether he will go for it, finish it in one shot, or keep playing the ball around.
Hamilton now to Hodge. Hodge is pushing it to the offside. They get a they don't get a run actually, because Oliver Walker was around quickly. I assume that it would have gotten past, but he got around extremely quickly and cut off the run there. So Hamilton now to Hodge. Hodge is pushing it down the ground, and now they will run the single. 84, just a boundary away, 4 runs away.
There's not much disappointment in the matches, other than Blowing Point making a very low total. It has been some good cricket still in the match, some faulty cricket, and then batting that needed not to push it, just take your time and creep towards the score, and how well these 2 young batsmen have done it. No, ultra fantastic shots. They just made certain they do what would have been the basics, and is certainly well on the way to guiding the Farrington to yet another victory in this Anguilla APL 2021.
So it's Omari Banks. This is the umpire now is about to Hodge, who pushes this through the offside. The immediate call is 2, and Hodge is coming back, but by himself. Throw goes to the keeper's end, so Hodge will get back safely. The score moves on to 85, I believe, scorer. 85 without loss. And it may have been 2, but I don't think that Adams wants to risk anything. He wants to get these runs home himself. Banks now. So Adams turns this one down to the leg side.
And
They're going to run one, looking for the second, and like that, the scores are tied. They're both on 87, and they are one run away from victory. So it's Amari Banks now. Into ball to Adams. Adams try this one up and over the top, and that should be the game there. That will be the game. The ball goes into the boundary. That's 4 runs. That's the end of the game, and a well-deserved victory for the Farrington Super Sixers.
A victory where there was no worry. The team batting first scored a paltry 80 plus, and the team batting second with 20 overs to make it knew that they had no reason to take any risks. The pitch is placid, the pitch is hard, and is playing extremely well. There would have been no surprises in terms of bunks. Any bunks would have been taken in the first, say, 6 overs of the match or thereabout, and they played to perfection, nudging it to and fro. Occasionally when the ball is up to go for the shot, the Mitri or Hodge will go at it, and they guided their team quite safely home. Yet another victory for the Super Sixers, and a very interesting season continues to groom for them. So far, they have not been defeated. The closest they have been to it was playing against the Beamers, and one more weekend before we look at the semi-finals and the finals.
The chip is a load appeal! Belated by the bowler, and that is not out. 9 extras up to 2. Here is Walker to bowl to Adams. Adams is coming for a goal, and then he gets back standing tall. Looking to walk this one on the onside, that's so. And then return back to coming for a goal, and then he gets back standing.
Early on, the pitch it wasn't too paced, but you would say the bounce was maybe a bit inconsistent. And you'd have wanted to take advantage of that with Elizabeth Delano Mussington in your team. You'd have wanted to use his pace early on, and maybe set the Super Sixers back just a bit. But they opted to bet, and it may have cost them in the end.
Well, certainly while I would agree with you, you do not know what the new area of pitch would have done. Maybe you should have gone to go in the field, but then the openers for the pointers did not do justice. Even in the first 6 overs, the odd bounce, yes, but then they did not attempt to push it on, and they played to perfection as far as the Super Sixers were concerned. They actually dug a hole for themselves, a hole in which they stayed because their defensive mode did not change, and the more the pitch dried out,
and then he gets back standing tall, looking to walk this one on the onside, that's so. All in the return back to the bowler. Hodge have to get back into this field. 7-3 field. Here it is. This one hitting straight through the man there. He's gonna beach him 4 runs. To his right.
Ball going through him for 4.
Here is Mussington to bowl to Adams. Bowl to Adams. Adams is getting one shot. Pull well. Pull for 4. Lovely shot. 4 bit of bowling there by
Here he comes again into bowl to Adams.
Ball to Adams. Adams is stripping, hitting this one. High, beautiful shot. One bounce into the boundary. It goes away for 4. Right on below. I see here in the comments. Hodge and Adams really making use of the power play. Yeah, here is Oliver Walker to bowl to you. Hodge has a load of peel out and line of just come now says the umpire. So the course of over number 4. Walker to bowl to Hodge. Outside the half stump. A load of peel now says the umpire. A big shot attempt to the looking. Bowl to Hodge. Outside the line of the half stump. Get this one to the left of backward point, but he comes across.
So the umpire stumps into ball to Adams. Adams is right to the pass. The field goal is looking rather energetic in the field. It's Leach. It's Adams. Adams is pushing it to the offside. This time gets it down to the long off. They will run one looking for a tuck up. It's Adams. Adams is pushing it to the offside. This time gets it down to the long off. They will run one looking for a tuck up. Then that's good running there by Yusef Hodge and the captain. The ball to Adams. Adams is turning this one into the leg side. Banks moves to his left. Single. Adams moves on to 18 away from you. Passes the umpire into ball to Yusef Hodge. Hodge is driving through the offside into the cover region. Passes the umpire ball to Adams. Adams is going high over the offside. But would fall in between the cover and the deep cover fielder. And the step through for a single. Oliver Walker into Yusef Hodge, and Hodge goes straight down the ground, and a good stop out here, I believe. 30 to score without loss. Oliver Walker now to both of Yusef Hodge. Hodge driving through the offside to the sweeper there on the boundary. They'll get a single.
16,
and this one's driven down the ground and just past the batting together. It's Oliver Walker now to both the Yusef Hodge. He put this one aerially, but over the third man fielder, and it should race it. So apparently he bowled that one. Going to bowl to Hodge. This one is fuller, and Hodge drives it very easily. They're going to run one, and they're going to get the second easily. That is great pressure being applied to the fielders. Deep cover and a sweep on the leg side. Hamilton into Adams. Adams cuts it away very powerfully through backward point. That's all the way to the boundary. 4 more runs.
yes.
Hamilton now the ball to Adams. Adams goes up and over the offside. This
4
one
more.
is well to the left
4 more.
of Omari Banks and will race into the boundary.
That's all he has to go over the top.
As it's Hamilton now. So Dimitri Adams. This one is pulled away down to the deep square leg fielder. They'll get a single. Into ball to Yusef Hodge. Hodge is back and turning this one into the leg side. They'll run a single. Hamilton now to Adams. Adams drives through the offside. Into ball to Hodge. Hodge is forward and pushing it down to the long on fielder. Into Adams, and a half appeal there by the wicket keeper. Off spinner over the wicket to Yusef Hodge. He's looking to sweep, but this one is down the leg side and a wide now into ball to Yusef Hodge. Hodge is pushing it into the leg side again, and they will get as Hamilton continues to Hodge, and this time is pushed into the leg side for a single.
Well, going for now.
Banks to continue now into Yusef. This one is clipped into the leg side. They'll run one and they'll settle for that. So it's 73 and over the wicket to the left hand of Adams. This one is cut past the backward point fielder. I don't think the deep cover will get there. That's going to be 4 runs. Wicket to the left hand of Adams. This one is cut past the backward point fielder. I don't think the
Score by the pointers in their innings.
it's Banks again pushing to the offside, but this time stopped by the backward point field runs. It's Banks to Adams, and this one is pushed into the offside again. They get a single. So it's going to be Omari Banks now to Hodge. This one is driven down the ground. They'll get a single, and again, actually going to run 2. That's brilliant. It's Hamilton to continue bowling from the city end. Between umpire and stump to the left-handed Adams. Adams back in looking to cut, but making no contact. To be Hamilton now to Adams. This time he drives it off the edge. It's going to get past the backward point fielder, but won't go to the boundary. They'll get 2 runs. Into ball to Adams. One flighted up and turned into the leg side. He was 6 runs away. Adams is going to turn this one to the backward square leg. Hamilton now. So Hodge. Hodge is pushing it to the offside. They get a 6. They cut off the run there. So Hamilton now to Hodge. Hodge is pushing it down the ground, and now they will run the single. Omari Banks. Passes the umpire now into the ball to Hodge, who pushes it through the offside. The immediate call is 2, and Hodge Banks. So turns this one down to the leg side.
And
They're going to run 1, looking for the second, and like that, the scores are tied. They're both on 87, and they are 1 run away from victory.